We'll say bye.
Welcome to Embers of Liberty.
Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America.
In the
These acts
councils
shatter
of government,
steel,
we must
but
guard
they
against
cannot dent
the
the steel.
acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Inherently and historically opposed to secret society.
We, as
secret
Americans,
oath,
have the capacity now, as we've had in
we
the
decided
past,
long ago
to do whatever
dangers
needs
of
to be done
excessive and unwarranted
to
concealment
preserve this last
Certain
and
facts
greatest bastion of
far
freedom.
outweigh the dangers
In this
which are
present
cited to
crisis,
justify it.
government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Damn it. Maybe. Is that right?
Hello? Yep.
Okay. Stupid me, please.
Stupid!
I forgot to add an action.
So, welcome back to where we are not known for our Ray-Bans or our chocolate chip ice cream.
No, we are not. Definitely not.
You are messing with...
No, I'm not.
Because all of a sudden...
Stop.
Oh God, I hit the wrong button.
Stupid!
Why?
Why did it do that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll watch it. I say that.
Stupid!
Yep. Sorry about that, Matt.
Yep.
Okay, so okay, first
You know
off.
what?
Okay. We're going to start this the right way now. Welcome back to Embers of Liberty, where we're not known for Ray-Bans or chocolate chip ice cream.
No, we're not.
Unlike a certain president of the United States. He was elected. Well, more like selected, but that's for another
More
time.
like predetermined.
Anywho, Joe, how was your week?
It was good. We just got back from Birmingham from the Botanical Garden. Birmingham sucked, though.
Yeah,
But-
Birmingham always sucks.
But Botanical Garden was great. Probably the greatest garden. No, I wouldn't say the greatest.
Shiz me.
It
Shiz
is
me.
one of
Shiz
the
me.
nicest gardens I've ever been in.
Shiz me. If you're going to impersonate me bigly, you must use the appropriate voice and hand motions, or we will file a huge lawsuit. A lawsuit so huge that you've never seen anything like it before.
By the way, that margarita mix inside this slushy,
The best.
it hits, man.
Does it?
Anyway, okay, Joe, your week's covered. Kate,
Yep.
how was your week?
It was, yep.
Yep. Okay,
Same old, same old.
fair
Putting
enough.
up with your ass.
I'm a gift.
A gift
What?
from hell.
Might not be the gift you wanted, but it's the gift you got. So
You know,
suck
coal.
it up, Buttercup.
You know, the lumps of coal are considered a gift.
Yep. Yep.
Only yours smells more like a turd.
Actually, it smells more like peach and pear.
Oh, okay.
You know. Fuck with me again. I'll shit on your lawn.
You know what it smells? You know what it smells like?
What?
These nuts.
These
nuts.
She got him.
Got him.
Got him.
How was your week, Justin?
It was pretty standard week. It is the last week of not having a child in the double digits. Jocelyn turns 10 on Tuesday. I'm very sad.
I got her peach baby slime for her birthday. Oh my god, she went ape shit.
Yeah. She loved that shit.
She says this is the best slime I've ever had.
Because it is.
It is.
So,
Yes.
so yeah, a very special happy early birthday to my baby. The one that made me a daddy.
Yep. Anyway, today's Earth Day. Happy Earth Day, Justin.
Earth Day.
I love Earth
I don't
Day.
want to fucking live on this planet anymore.
Look, it's
And-
not about. It's not
so
about.
dramatic.
And
It's
you know
not about
what?
humanity,
You know
Justin.
what?
It's
Here's the
about
thing.
trees and grass and plants
Here's the thing.
and bark.
Humanity is part
Why
of
does-
Earth, so no, fuck
Why
that.
do
poison
trees
ivy.
get 2 holidays?
Yeah, they get Tree Day and Earth Day. Fuck
We have a tree
trees.
day,
No, it's Arbor Day.
Arbor Day, bro.
Same fucking thing.
So Earth Day encompasses everything, though.
Yeah. It's for like recycling and planting trees and
Planting plants in general.
plants.
Haha.
and-
And this is why I like roast. No, it's about control.
No,
Fuck
man.
yeah.
Earth Day is cool. I
No.
like Earth Day.
You know what? That's because you're a plant guy. Fuck you. Anyway, so
I do like
why?
plants though. Happy Earth Day, Joe.
Happy Earth Day, Kate.
There you go.
Christ.
I like keeping my environment clean, man. Ain't nobody got to tell me to do it.
I
I'm a
ain't got
libertarian.
time. I ain't got time
You
for
know,
recycling,
here's the thing.
but I'm all
Okay,
about the plant.
I had something like I was headed somewhere with what I was saying, and you fucked it up. I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Nobody cares.
And you know what?
Denied access.
Stupid him. Stupid him.
Only because I have to live with him.
Bullshit. You wanted to stupid him too. Disgraceful him.
Liar!
Disgraceful him.
Disgraceful. Come on,
How does it feel, bitch?
I'll just yell. I'll yell from my end.
Anywho, so
Dives
why
in your lap.
why don't I want to live on this planet anymore? Well, you'll find out when we start talking freedom things.
I like that.
See how I ran into
I
that?
did that. I did. I mean, I like that. I did that. I like that. Touche.
Here
You're
all
welcome.
night.
Touche. That was
You're
smooth.
welcome.
That was smooth.
Anywho, so
Probably the smoothest you've ever been.
Kate, you might want to pull up.
No, that's when he got me.
I want to pull up Docs, Google Docs,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
so that you can actually
Where?
Carry us to the right.
Where is it?
No, just open up the internet.
Didn't do this. Never done it.
Extra tab. It's actually right there.
No, look at that.
And then you're gonna, yeah, right there. Now looky here. We've got all these pretty little links, ready to go. So first off, we're gonna get to the thing that I like. Okay, thing that I really like, because
Ben Shapiro.
to me, it's fucking hilarious that A, this woman got elected, and B, she just says whatever comes to her mind, and a lot of times it's pretty funny, much like this one. So let's go to that first link.
This is the gentlelady from Georgia.
So,
Miss Green.
wait.
This is the
Oh, you got to go back to the start.
I did.
Okay,
gentlelady
Never
from.
mind. Oh my god.
For a minute, I didn't think he was gonna make it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded, especially when I got to sneeze. Anywho, let's roll this because this is fucking hilarious.
This is the gentlelady from Georgia, Miss Green.
That was quite entertaining from someone that had a sexual relationship with a Chinese spy, and everyone knows it. But
I
thanks
move
for
to take her
entertaining
words
us.
down.
You can't.
Skip to 59
Completely
seconds.
inappropriate.
Yeah, stand by just a second.
That's close enough.
A motion has been made. The gentleman will, the committee will suspend, and the gentleman will state the words that he wishes taken down.
Everything that the gentlelady from Georgia has said.
No, you need to be more specific. Mr. Gill.
Accusations of an affair with a Chinese spy. Those are engaging in personalities, and those words should be taken down, and the gentlelady should not be able to speak anymore in this hearing.
That is not the latter part of that is not an appropriate motion, but we will
pause it.
evaluate the.
He actually
First
tried
off-
to make it to where she couldn't say anything else.
First off, get fucked, nerd. Second off, she's not wrong. He did have an affair with the Chinese spy, and everybody does know it. And I'm not sure. I don't even know what he was exactly presenting. I've seen it, but I can't remember what it was. off the
He's
top of
just
my head.
mad because the
She's
government.
a savage.
He's just mad because the government shot down his candygram.
Fair enough.
Fang
Yeah.
Fang send him a candygram via wind.
Bang,
God
bang.
damn it! You know what? That's it. We've cracked the code.
She sent him the candygram via the wind, and they shot it down. He's not
Well,
happy
she was
about
way off course, though, man. She was like on the other side of the.
They're not.
Oh wait, no,
great
he's in
with
DC. Never
direction.
mind. She was in the exact right place. So, here's the thing, okay? Like, more of this. I want this in Congress. I want them to actually get into screaming matches and fight and argue
So,
because I
Shapiro-
think it would be hilarious.
I would
Shapiro
watch-
brought this up the other day.
British Parliament does
Yeah, he
this.
said British Parliament actually does yell at each other and insult each other.
They just go for it.
I would watch C-SPAN more if they did that.
I would definitely watch C-SPAN more if if there was guaranteed to be an argument every day.
and throw shit at each other.
Yeah.
Like, you should actually get a little basket of stuff, an allotted basket of stuff every day that you're allowed to throw at each other.
Not like hurtful things, like that
Like
can
pies.
really do damage.
No, not pies.
No,
like-
too
pies.
messy.
Like some of them squeezy balls, maybe a banana.
Maybe a stuffed pickle Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're really mad at somebody, like one of those hard Kong toys.
Oh, God.
Just somebody
would
in the middle of
hurt.
talking.
Ding.
Well,
So,
the speaker for Georgia is currently out cold right now. She was hitting that with a Kong.
so
We'll
anyway,
circle back.
so
Request to for a recess. I need to refill my my basket.
go ahead and skip to 1 minute and 50 seconds.
The chair recognizes the gentlelady from Georgia and asks if she would like to retract those words.
No, I will not.
Boom!
I'm a savage.
And see, hold on, pause it for a second. So go up to the top right, down. See the black guy there? Mm-hmm. Go to the left. Up and to the left. That's Eric Swalwell. He is so fucking pissed off, and it's hilarious. I love it. Not only that, but so have you ever looked at Eric Swalwell, like really looked at him?
No. I don't think so. I try not to look at Democrats that often.
Yeah.
They make my wiener go inside me.
So here's the thing. He looks like he was a shitty varsity high school quarterback. Look at him. Look. He just looks like a shitty high school varsity quarterback.
He looks like a jock sniffer.
Yes.
He looks like he's a dude that just bitches about everything all the time.
Well, he does. And
God, Dad, can you
he
fix
is
this,
one
bro?
of those. Like, look at this. Look at this tool.
Yeah.
Total douchebag. He looks like fucking Wish.com Anthony DiNozzo from NCIS. Okay? And you know what? He did have an affair. So fuck him.
With a Chinese spy.
With a Chinese spy. Well, actually, it wasn't an affair. I don't think he was married yet.
It don't matter. He
But
slept with a Chinese spy.
He slept with the enemy, and everybody knows it.
Like, they're all like, oh, we need to ban TikTok. How about we just ban Eric Swalwell and we'll be all right?
Well, I mean, that's why he's not on the intelligence committee anymore. Because he had sexual relations with a Chinese spy.
I'm surprised he's even allowed to do anything. I'm surprised they're not like, dude, you can't have any government job.
He doesn't have a clearance.
He don't have any clearance.
Did you know that most of our elected representatives, unless they serve on certain committees, do not have clearances? That's why they can't talk about classified information. Well, I mean, first off, it's broadcast to the public, but when they say we need to take this to a classified setting, it's because some of the members aren't cleared.
Huh.
Yeah, they don't get a security clearance investigation.
I figured most representatives at least have a secret clearance.
Nope.
Huh.
Some of them do if they deal with intelligence.
Well, that is interesting.
Anyway, now we're going to skip to about 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Because it's a bunch of just watching them sit around and do fucking nothing.
Why is it doing
I don't know. Click in the video.
I am.
Okay, the chair rules that those words that were spoken are not going to be stricken from the record.
Mr. Chair.
The gentleman.
So now it is in the
gentleman
congressional
from
record
Mississippi.
that Eric Swalwell had an affair with the Chinese spy. And it's hilarious. Continue.
Is recognized.
I don't think there's any question about what the young lady said. I've been on this committee from day one. We've never had an accusation made of anything like that. And I'm appalled at it. We all ought to be embarrassed at it. We are a better committee than what the young lady is trying to make of this committee. So I appeal the ruling of the chair.
The ruling of the chair has been appealed. We will now. Gentleman moves.
Anyway, we can stop here. So not only
Lady from Georgia is recognized, and we will give. Lady from Georgia is recognized, and we will give her the time. The clock was stopped, and we'll give you an extra 10 or 15 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Mayorkas, since you have been in charge of the Department of Homeland Security, There have been 0 miles of border wall added. There have been over 5.5 million illegal alien encounters at our border, 1.3 million known gotaways, and approximately 870% increase in apprehensions in just one sector of the northern border. American mothers and infants suffered a severe baby formula shortage, all while this administration was happily stocking the shelves for illegal aliens at one of the largest processing centers in the country. American mothers were forced to delay inductions at the Yuma Regional Medical Center because of your policies. They have flooded their maternity unit with illegal aliens. Tens of thousands of migrant children have been forced into slave labor in our country because of your policies. At least 853 dead migrants and counting, the most ever in a 12-month period, died trying to cross the southern border in 2022. And now there are over 300 Americans a day dying every single day, without fail, every single day because of fentanyl, deadly fentanyl, which is the #1 cause of death in young people between ages 18 and 45. Now we have rainbow fentanyl, which even NBC News was acknowledging that the cartels were bringing across our border, and it comes from China. This rainbow fentanyl looks like Sweet Tarts or Skittles, clearly made to target America's school children. It's 50 times more potent than heroin, 100 times more potent than morphine. And now, under your tenure, Secretary Mayorkas, schools all over America have to have Narcan to save children that overdose on this deadly poison. Let me explain something to you. I'm not from Texas. I'm not from any border state. I represent a district in Georgia, which is in northwest Georgia. We're not anywhere near Mexico. We're not anywhere near the ocean. But in my district, people die nearly every single day from fentanyl. And I want to know from you, how many more people do we have to watch die every single day in America? How many more young people do we have to see die? How many more teenagers? How many more parents cry themselves to sleep at night, if they can even sleep, because their child overdosed on fentanyl? How long are you going to continue this outrage, complete outrage, where China is poisoning America's children, poisoning our teenagers, poisoning our young people? How long are you going to let this go on?
Congresswoman, let me assure you that we're not letting it go on.
Child overdosed on fentanyl. How long are you going to continue this outrage, complete outrage, where China is poisoning America's children, poisoning our teenagers, poisoning our young people? How long are you going to let this go on?
Congresswoman, let me assure you that we're not letting it go on. We are fighting this.
No, I reclaim my time. You're a liar. You are letting this go on, and the numbers prove it. You can't lie about the facts, Secretary Mayorkas. While you live in denial and sit over there with this attitude that you're doing everything right, you are killing Americans with your policies. And that is a fact. Your policies are killing people, over 300 Americans a day, over 300, and it's outrageous. Let me ask you another question. We talk about terror.
To talk about morals and morality is a disgrace!
This Parliament is a disgrace.
He should be absolutely ashamed of himself.
Come on then.
This is a bill.
His days of lying, of cheating, and of undermining the rule of law must be numbered. So I only... Order.
Mr. Speaker, I've never heard such humbug in all my life. Because the reality is...
There was an atmosphere in the chamber worse than any I've known in my 22 years in the House, on both sides.
This, Mr. Speaker, was 10 minutes of bluster from a dangerous Prime Minister who thinks he is above.
I don't know.
Turn my mic down again. All right, turn it back up.
I'm not turning your mic down. I'm turning
My volume down.
Your
It's like every
volume.
time you touch that, it does it.
Well, it didn't that time.
Hold on. Go back to it real quick. Let me see something. Because we hit those mute button. No, that didn't do nothing. That's weird.
Hit the full screen, the live full screen button again. Okay. Go over to the.
So, yeah, cameraman. For some reason, we've got it set on the.
And go to the full screen button.
We got a button messing it up.
It's got the two actions, so click those two actions, and then just delete the audio mixer one. Just hit delete on the keyboard. Perfect.
There we go.
And let's try it again. Yep.
All right. So basically, what we were saying was that we kind of wish that the American Congress and all that and representatives would just go at it like the people in Parliament. So we're just giving an example of what Parliament does. Go back to it. There, Kate.
Of the law. But in truth, Mr. Speaker...
I got a huge problem.
You got a what?
Got a huge problem.
What?
The magnet's been reversed.
Okay, we don't need to read that part. That's old news.
Anywho. Okay, so basically what we've been saying is...
So cameraman says they need to do it like they used to do it in the first Congress. They would physically beat each other. Just put a ring in the middle of it, like, and just have some MMA fights, man.
Yeah, for real. That would be awesome. I really wish that I could, actually, you know what? Nope, that's not working. God damn it. Hold, please. I'm trying to get this.
His puff machine is failing him.
I am not going to do this show without it. You guys can continue.
Boo-doo-doo.
Oh, yeah, because I know how to do your job.
Well, you just talk.
Oh my God, he was trying to do that the other day in Noodles. Nothing but Noodles. I'm gonna look at you like Leonardo looked at McConaughey. What the fuck?
This is not good.
What's wrong with it?
I reversed my magnet in there.
You flipped it?
Yeah, unfortunately. And I can't get it out.
This?
The silver ring, yeah.
It comes out?
Yeah, it comes out. I just can't get it out.
Mama's always packing.
Mama's always packing.
Continue while I work on this.
Anyway, this is a shit show. I don't know how you're going to get that out of there.
So, what do we have next?
Next.
Oh, we have Eagles.
What?
We have the Eagles next.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hotel California?
Fetterman, you know, he was like, Eagles are better than Eagles.
This is ridiculous. I hate that damn vape right now. Yeah,
I've got something interesting for you for Conspiracy Corner.
Which is?
It's a surprise, man. Like, we can't just tell people. Because then they'll start talking about it before we even get there.
I need something very thin.
Well,
like I said, it's not a, you know, a big thing, but it's, you know, it's a thing. Not a big thing, but it's a little thing.
Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
It ain't here for a long time, just here for a good time.
So we don't even really have to watch this.
I don't want to watch it.
Nobody really wants to see this fucker. But John Fetterman's back. And
is he sponsored by Gatorade?
He's sponsored by mental retardation.
Because
you know,
every time I see him, he has a Gatorade.
Well, yeah, because
we can't say that.
Oh, I can, and I do, and I will. Cancel me. I don't give a shit.
You're gonna be shit without me.
So he's back, right? Wirch has returned. And I understand that he had a stroke and that's why he is this way. Except for I don't believe that this is why he is this way. I think he's just stupid.
Oh, so Cameraman, all we've talked about so far is just
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, pretty much calling out Eric Swalwell for sleeping with a Chinese spy in front of the committee people. Yep. And we just pretty much just laughing about it. That's all we've talked about so far. I'm trying to get Justin to talk about the AI, but we haven't talked about it yet.
There's not really a whole lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about. Yeah. They have banned, or they're the top tech people in the world have put forward that that we should consider a temporary ban on any more work done on AI because they're afraid it's going to get too powerful.
Well, because it is.
Because all we need, you know what? Let's go into it in a little bit. Let's talk about what we got to talk about, and then we'll go into it in a little bit. We'll go into it in Joe's Conspiracy Corner. Because that's kind of more Joe's Conspiracy Corner.
I don't think it's going to come out.
No, it's not. It's wedged in there pretty good. So, sorry. Hold your vape down.
This is annoying.
Well, I better try it.
Anywho, all right, so.
Oh, Eagles.
On to, Sir Dumbass.
On to the terrible goatee.
I call to this hearing of the U.S. Senate Subcommittee on Food and Nutrition, Specialty Crops, Organics, and Research to order.
Not you, Biden.
Oh.
Chairwoman Stabenow. And Ranking Member Boozman, thank you so much for coming. I thank you for your leadership on this committee, and I look forward to working with you to pass a farm bill. A farm bill that works for small farmers, rural communities, and hungry Americans. I would also like to thank my ranking member, Senator Braun. I look forward to working closely with you. SNAP is one of the most effective programs to fight hunger and poverty in the country. In my time and effort in IFAS, as the mayor of Braddock to lieutenant governor to now, I have heard from Pennsylvanians about their support for a SNAP. Hunger is not a Republican or a Democrat issue. It's all of our issue that we have to take it on.
Well, dude looks fried out of his brain.
Yes.
We need to come together.
You kind of have to be to work with John Fetterman.
With Americans' access to food. Americans like about Chloe George from the north to the town of Northeast in Pennsylvania.
Junior.
Skimming, which was somebody stole.
You know the thing.
Relied from its SNAP EBT. Mr. Jor is not the first Pennsylvanian I've heard this from. I fear he won't be the last. And I will work in this farm bill to modernize SNAP to work to reach in the 21st.
They are so bored out of their minds.
I look forward to hearing from you, your witness on this nutrient assistance on the farm bill, and I will now turn to Senator Braun for any opening comments that he would like to make.
Thank you.
Chocolate chip. So is it just me, or does everybody think that this guy should resign?
Yeah.
Like, bro, this ain't for you, my man, my guy. This is the opposite of for you. Like,
I mean, he sounds no different than Biden.
Right, and Biden should also resign.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they both need to be fucking gone.
Go, you know the thing.
Correct.
This is what I think.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
That was the second part of John Fetterman's opening statement. Pretty bad. It's just such a bad look for us as a country to have somebody like that in Congress. Like, at the end of the day, the guy should have never ran. He should have never been allowed to run because he was not mentally or physically fit for the position, just like Joe Biden. Yes? Do you agree?
Yes.
So, anyway, now, moving on from that, seems to have been a little Russian mishap in their efforts to defeat Ukraine. There's no audio for a part of it, so. So, they fired on their own city. Have you seen this, Joe?
No, I haven't.
You really need to watch this. This is in Russia. Whoops.
Whoa.
Let me go back. I missed that.
That totally launched a car. Like, wham, right there, that car. Bam.
Oh my God, wee.
No,
oh my God, wee.
Damn.
Oh my God, wee. That for real does suck, though.
That wasn't an accident. There was someone in that car that needed to be dead.
Well, they missed the car if it was somebody in that car.
No, did you not see the car flying through the air?
It didn't fly through the air. It literally just lifted up.
No.
Go back.
Rewind.
It
Watch the side of the hotel over there.
This side. We're talking about this side.
Oh, you're
Not
talking about
side.
that car that's parked.
Yeah, we're talking about
Just
this.
watch.
Okay, yeah, I
Right
didn't
in
see
here.
that car.
Look right in here. Not here. Here.
I didn't see that car. So my bad.
I say watch the watch.
Did I go back too far? No, here we go. Here we go. Oh my God, wee.
Look at that.
Yep.
Holy smokes.
Fucking shit.
All right, you want to see another thing weird I noticed just now? Rewind it again. That spot right before it's about to blow up. Look at the spot. You want to talk about?
It came up from the ground.
You want to talk about directed energy weapons? Watch the spot.
No, that's a missile.
But what? No, watch. Just watch. Rewind it a little more.
I see what you're talking about.
Look, it lights up. See? Wait. Wait for it.
Right.
Now, did you see?
I think that was the tail lights from
maybe,
the car.
Maybe, but still, I was like, but shit, it launched that damn car, man. Like, damn.
'Cause I'm free.
So Russia not only incompetent in Ukraine, they're also incompetent in Russia.
Nah, I think somebody in that car needed to be dead.
And it could have been. But accidentally discharged munition. Like,
stupid. Wait, a supersonic fighter bomber. Okay.
You done messed up. Hey, Ron.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top.
Shut up.
That's a little weird.
I think it
Either
was,
that, or they're trying to. Either that, or we've done some shit over there, and they're trying to put it off as Russia did it.
No, Russia's investigating their own fighter pilot. So now we're going to get to something.
You know what that smells like?
Smell like failure. Yes. Now we're going to get to something that has been discussed a lot more than I would like to recently, but this one doesn't end quite the same way as the others. There was a shooting in Kansas City where an 84-year-old man shot a 16-year-old black boy twice. And, you know, so Ralph Yarl shouldn't have been shot.
No. Period.
Put yourself in the shoes of an 84-year-old man that lives alone.
He claimed too that he said that Ralph Yarl was trying to open the door. But in Ralph's defense, though, he probably thought, "Hey, if my brother and sister or whoever he's looking for here, I could probably just walk in."
That's the thing. Like nowadays, is people aren't properly educating their children about things.
But see, supposedly Ralph Yarl was a very bright young man. Like they said, he's
still alive.
I mean, he is, yeah. But I'm saying, like, he apparently has, like, applied to Yale, so he's a very bright young man.
And I get it. Like I would, maybe in 16-year-old, I would assume the same thing.
Maybe he thought, like, maybe he knew the people and he thought, hey, maybe this is the house. I'm just gonna walk on in, you know.
Anyway, regardless of why he shot him, it automatically turned into a race thing.
Yeah,
like it always does.
That's what I thought was stupid. And
so,
and is it? I don't know. I mean, the guy does give off skinhead vibes.
Well, here's the thing: he's an 84-year-old man,
but he's an 84-year-old
grew up in a different time,
right?
He could have fucking dementia. Who knows? But if the kid was trying to open the door, it's a different story, in my opinion.
Right. I think all sides are blowing this way too far. Like,
and here's the thing:
it's an old man that made a mistake. Yeah, he should probably do jail time for it. But we've taken this to a level that is just way too far.
It's way too far gone.
Yeah.
So
because see, another thing we're not talking about is a white man shot a white girl just for pulling into his driveway.
Yep.
They didn't.
Nobody's talking about.
They didn't know that they were in the wrong driveway. They realized they were in the wrong driveway. They were going to turn around. Dude comes out on his porch and unloads into the car.
Yep.
Kills the girl.
Yep.
We're not talking about that though.
Nope. Why would we?
Because white on white crime.
No, because it was a white victim.
Right. That too.
So let's go ahead and go to the first video there.
Breaking news from Kansas City, Missouri tonight. An 85-year-old white man has just been charged in the shooting of a black teenager who rang his doorbell by mistake. It follows a weekend of protests over the shooting. Maggie Vespa joins us live now. Maggie, what charges does he face?
Lester prosecutors in Clay County say 85-year-old Andrew Lester faces 1 count of assault in the first degree and 1 count of armed criminal action. And they add there was a, quote, racial component in this shooting of a teenage boy who family says made a simple mistake and went to the wrong home.
If we don't get it, shut it down!
Tonight, after days of protests demanding justice, the Kansas City homeowner, who families say shot 16-year-old Ralph Yarl twice for ringing the wrong doorbell, faces criminal charges.
I can assure you that the criminal justice system is working
and will continue to work. As with any serious case, we approached this one in an objective and impartial manner.
And he has the times where it's like, why? I did nothing wrong. Why?
Dr. Faith Spoonmore says her nephew was trying to pick up his younger twin brothers from a friend's house Thursday night when he mistakenly went to the wrong home. Civil rights attorney Lee Merritt says Ralph rang the doorbell and waited.
And he was confronted by a man who told him, "Don't come back around here," and then he immediately fired his weapon,
supposedly
striking
allegedly
Mr. Yarl in the head. He went to the ground, and then he was shot a second time.
Merritt adding Ralph was able to run for help after being shot and says Ralph knocked on multiple doors before a neighbor answered and ordered the boy to lie on the ground and put his hands up.
Ralph decided to comply and essentially lose consciousness after that, which is what allowed him to get medical treatment.
The shooting sparking outrage on social media, Hollywood heavyweights like Viola Davis and Halle Berry demanding charges. Fueling that fury, police taking the homeowner into custody and 24 hours later, they say, releasing them without charges. Prosecutors now say the charges followed a thorough review of the case police put together.
As the prosecutor of Clay County, I can tell you there was a racial component to the case.
They add the felony charges filed against Andrew Lester carry a potential sentence of up to life in prison. A warrant issued immediately for the 85-year-old's arrest.
It's been my goal from the very beginning to get justice for the child involved in the case.
Tonight, the family says Ralph, a marching band standout with dreams of studying chemical engineering, is healing.
He's alive. I think that's the biggest message that I want people to remember, is that he is alive.
And it's a
Prosecutors
good
in
thing that he is
Kansas City
alive.
said today they also did not pursue hate crime charges because in this case, under Missouri law, they say those charges would have come with a shorter sentence. And then also new tonight, Ralph Yarl's family attorney says the team today spoke to President Biden, who invited him to the White House and told him, "We are all waiting to see justice in your case."
Not inviting a bunch of Christian kids, though, are you?
Nope.
No. Why would you do that?
Nope. They're the wrong color. Okay.
So here's the
as
thing.
much as I don't want to make this about race, in order to get your family invited to the White House,
Apparently, you got to get
for
shot. You got to be
something
black and get shot by a white dude.
involving gun violence, you've got to be shot by a white man and be a minority.
So here's the thing. I do not think this man deserves life in prison. I don't. I think he deserves some kind of time because that's just that was irresponsible. It was irresponsible.
It was irresponsible. And I agree. He should be charged, and he should be found guilty of something. But chances are it's going to turn into a he said, she said.
I think it should be like reckless endangerment kind of deal.
And at the end of the day, I've heard two different things, one of which we're about to watch. So let's go to the next video.
Now to Andrew Lester, the white homeowner who is accused of shooting a black 16-year-old, Ralph Yarl. He pled not guilty yesterday to 2 felonies. Lester told police that he was scared to death of Yarl due to his size. Now, Lester, who is 84 years old, was released on bond. He is due back in court June 1st. Prosecuting attorney...
I mean, the man just... He looks not all there. I mean...
No, he doesn't look all there.
There's got to be some type of psychological thing going on. I'm just saying.
And there probably is.
He said there was a racial component to this case. Miraculously, Yarl is back at home, recovering from his injuries after 3 days in the hospital. This is a picture of him taken yesterday with his lawyer, Lee Merritt. So joining us now is Clint Ludwig. He is the grandson of Andrew Lester, and we always like to get
this guy
perspective
looks
on
totally
thinking of someone who knows him, why they might do this. So, Clint, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
This guy looks totally credible. Let me tell
Good
you.
morning to you. So what is your reaction? What was your reaction when you heard that your grandfather shot Ralph Yarl for ringing his doorbell?
I was disgusted. I thought it was terrible. Myself and my family stand with Ralph Yarl and seeking justice. This is a horrible tragedy. It never should have happened.
Folks are going to want to know, why are you speaking out and apparently against your grandfather?
It's the right thing to do. This country happens over and over again where people get away with killing unarmed, innocent black people, and it's I would have had the same energy for any other case like I've had over and over again in this country, like I said. But so it's the right thing to do. People need to speak out and not make any excuses for this kind of behavior and this violence.
So you said for killing innocent black people, the prosecutor in this case has suggested that there was a racial component to it. Do you believe your grandfather is racist?
I believe he holds racist tendencies.
Like what?
And beliefs.
Examples.
Why do you say
that? He's just a stock American Christian male. It's older, that's just how they are.
What?
Conspiracies and weird random racist things they say, and it doesn't make sense, but they're just scared.
Now,
yes,
listen,
you were totally credible.
A lot here
idiot.
about, you said older Christian white males, but what do you mean by that? What do you mean they're scared? Talk to me more, please.
Yeah, it's just I feel like a lot of people of that generation are caught up in this 24-hour news cycle of fear and paranoia perpetuated by some other news stations, and he was fully into that, sit and watch Fox News all day, every day, blaring in his living room. And I think that stuff really kind of reinforces this negative view of minority groups and leads people to be a little, it doesn't necessarily lead people to be racist, but it reinforces and
This
galvanizes
dude
racist
screams,
people
I'm
and their
brainwashed.
beliefs.
Yes, he does.
Now, apparently,
I like how he's
if I'm wrong, Clint,
culturally
you said that your
appropriating
grandfather would say
the
or
hairstyle.
do things, apparently that you did not subscribe to, that caused you to distance yourself from him. Say and do things like what?
That's right. A lot of it was the kind of QAnon level conspiracies about election denying, and then they got really weird with some Fauci dogs. I really didn't know what that meant, but I would push back on some of this stuff, and he couldn't handle it.
Hold on.
Pause it.
Okay. So the fact that he
that's
didn't
not
know
even a
what the
conspiracy.
Fauci dog thing was.
That's a fact.
Tells you everything you need to know about this dude.
This
This
dude's
is
an
an
idiot.
unserious moron.
This dude's an idiot. He just like, oh, my granddad's an old white racist because he's old and
this gonna get me famous.
Dang.
Because
That's what
his
he's after.
SoundCloud rapping career is not getting off to what he wants. He has
No.
to go on live and bash his own grandfather.
Correct.
What a piece of shit. You, sir, are a piece of shit.
I'll be right back. You can continue playing this. I've got to blow my nose.
At a certain point, we kind of lost touch, and I think it was more of his choice than mine.
Did he
I
say
would
or
too.
do things
I highly
that you
doubt
found
that.
offensive about minorities or
I'm
people
sure
of
it was
color?
Hey, pause it real quick. If my grandson looked like that, I'd distance myself from him too. I'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
bruh, like
You look stupid.
you look like a moron.
Get away from me.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, he would say some things. I think I can't remember exactly now all that happened, but I know he had something about, had a really hot take about abortion and how something about black women getting abortions, and I didn't know what he was talking about, but I said, I don't
Okay, pause it
really
again.
want to talk to you about this
Okay,
anymore.
black women getting abortions. The founder of Planned Parenthood admitted that she founded Planned Parenthood in order to eradicate the black population.
Yep.
She admitted it. I don't understand, dude. We are living in some kind of like I'm convinced that CERN has put us in some sort of alternate universe or something.
We
Alternate
just live in clown
timeline.
world, and this is why I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Or see the person who made Idiocracy is now the head of the Illuminati. So this is why we're going the direction we're going to now. They're like, you know what? I feel like we need to have real life Idiocracy. I worked too hard on that movie for it not to be real.
That would actually make a lot of sense. So anyway, we're done with this SoundCloud rapping jackass.
He is such a piece of what a piece of shit.
So here's the thing. Another one of Ralph's relatives has come forward, and of course, you can't find the article anywhere, but another one of his relatives has come forward and said that that's not the man that he knew. So, like, that guy, 100% just looking to have his 15 minutes in the spotlight.
Yeah. Like Kate said, he
his SoundCloud career was not what he hoped it would be, and this is his alternative.
Like Kate going to the Wii.
Yeah, she's going to the bathroom. So
don't fall through the floor, Kate.
AI, go for it.
We're not now.
We can't. We might as well. We can't go to the next video.
We kind of need like some supportive stuff on this.
Then never mind. Dude, have your allergies been killing you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
You hear my nose all too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My left nostril is just like,
oh yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, it's been rough.
Nope, you're not gonna breathe through me at all. So if I sound
even Beckham, like he sounds like he's like what do you call it, croupy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. Like all the way, like he fell asleep on the way down to Birmingham. He was like constantly.
Yep, we've been dealing with that too.
It's allergy season.
Yep, that's all it is. So, you want to go on to the next thing? You want to talk about AI?
We'll just go on to the next thing.
Okay.
If we have time for AI, we'll talk about AI.
It's so important, bro. Air National Guardman.
So
this guy's just an idiot too.
Is another example of the hilarity of the world that we live in.
Look at that mustache.
Yeah, that dude needs to wipe that dirt off of his face. Because
a Tennessee Air National Guardsman has been arrested and charged after allegedly trying to get a job as a hitman. And the website he tried using, rentahitman.com. The site boasts glowing testimonials, plus a quick and easy hitman job application page to join one of the, quote, world's best problem resolution organizations. The site is all a parody, apparently lost on 21-year-old Josiah Ernesto Garcia. According to the criminal complaint, in early February, Garcia submitted a resume and identification documents saying he was, quote, an expert marksman and earned the nickname Reaper. Just days later, the complaint says Garcia sent another email to the rentahitman.com site writing, quote, I'm looking for a job that pays well related to my military experience, shooting and killing the marked target, so I can support my kid on the way. Adding, put me in, coach. The complaint says the...
Because you just don't go out and get a regular old factory job. You just...
You know what? We have actual audio from this guy. You know what button? You know which one? Nope.
He's kind of stupid.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Right? That's the Air National Guardsman.
Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking this is the guy that leaked this stuff, but he's a dumbass too.
No. This is the
Air
other
National
dumbass Guardsman that decided it would be a good idea to fill out an application on rentahitman.com.
Nobody said you had to be smart to be in the military.
Okay, so here's the thing with that. Those are the people that you think are going to stop millions of gun owners?
Stupid.
Thank you. I don't think so. I have very little faith in our military.
You see where it says we're 100% HIPAA compliant?
Bro, it's fucking hilarious. Also, that guy's fucking retarded.
And they probably wouldn't have thought nothing of it until he probably was like
sending them emails telling them he was looking for a job.
I need this job.
Like, hey, bro, please hire me. Put me in, coach.
Say you don't know a lot about the internet without saying you don't know a lot about the internet. Like, who's going to have it just straight up front? Like, rentahitman.com.
As a 21-year-old, you should know more about the internet than I do.
Yes.
Someone's clearly watched John Wick way too fucking much on patrol.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, if you want to be a real hitman, you got to go to the dark web, bro.
Also, you're in the Air Force.
And then he's like, oh, I'm in the military. What a dumbass,
You're
bro.
in the Air Force.
Guys, don't talk about Reaper like that.
It's Reaper, bro.
You're not a pilot.
Put him in a coffin, Johnny.
You're not an expert marksman. You qualled at basic. That's it. You haven't shot a rifle since. You fucking
No, he
tool.
shot something, but it wasn't a rifle.
It was in his hand, and it shot, but it wasn't a rifle.
I bet he stood in the mirror like this.
Also, that shot did not actually end up on another individual. It probably ended up in a napkin.
Well, no, he had a kid on the way. So he was an expert marksman at least once.
Oh, fair.
With his tiny, tiny pee-pee.
My tiny pee-pee is offended by that.
God. There can be only one. My noses went from being stopped up to running and being stopped up. This is fantastic. I'm having a great time. Anyway, on to the next story, because this...
Are we done with this?
We're done with this. It's just hilarious, okay? Like, this could have been the funny on its own.
Yep. That should have been the funny.
If anybody's interested, you can go to hitman.com
and fill out an application. Just
They're
don't email them
100%
again.
HIPAA compliant, by the way.
I wish they had
except for
T-shirts.
that thing. I wonder what else is on there.
They probably do have T-shirts.
Hitman Information Policy and Protection Act of
Merchandise.
1964.
They have merchandise.
Okay, you know what? Pull that website up. Pull it up right now.
What is it? Rentahitman.com?
Rentahitman.com.
Where are you?
We're going to get flagged
No,
so
we're not.
hard.
Coming soon.
Oh.
Oh, man. They took it down. It's no longer affiliated with Diners
my
Club,
God.
the Detroit Lions, the Illuminati, Donald Trump, Kyle Rittenhouse, Carol Baskins, Putin, due to... Oh, my God.
Contractual restrictions.
All correspondences with Rent a Hitman. Okay. Dang. I can't find
Go back
a
up.
Hitman.
Go back up. There's no merchandise tab anymore.
There's
That's
nothing.
annoying.
They took him down.
They took it down, you bastards.
That sucks.
Copyright.
That was funny.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that little...
Your
that,
point and click solution. All rights reserved. Clearly not.
that is pretty funny. though.
Anywho, all correspondences with rentahitman.com. Go back down. All correspondences with Rent a Hitman, your point and click solution, including email and web form communication, are the property of RAH and are subject to print, multimedia, and all other uses, both public and private.
Well, how are you 100% compliant then?
Yeah, but it's not on there now, so that makes me sad.
You consent to use cookies. Well, clearly you consent to more than cookies.
Clearly.
Man.
Oh,
that
my
sucks.
God. Powered by Rent
like
a
at the
Hitman
end.
Field Operative Network.
Look, I like at the end. Capiche.
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 Anywho, so I thought that would be a funny thing to share. Now, we're going to talk about the other dumbass for a second, because some more of the Pentagon leak stuff is coming out, and this one reveals stuff about China's supersonic spy drone.
As Bush Baked Beans say, roll that beautiful footage.
Roll that beautiful leaked document footage.
21-year-old suspected Pentagon leaker Jack Caldera was back in court to waive his right to a preliminary hearing. Meanwhile, inside the Pentagon, the Air Force unit where he was assigned has now been stripped of the intelligence duties it had as an internal probe ramps up. Short time from now, all members of the House and Senate will be briefed on the extent of the classified leak, and it reportedly has yielded another alarming detail about China. According to the Washington Post, one Pentagon assessment shows Beijing is about to unveil a high-tech spy drone unit. Have a look at that right there. That would give its surveillance program potentially a significant boost. CNN's Oren Lieberman, he's at the Pentagon. Oren, as we know, Pentagon's still trying to
That
come
guy
to
is
terms with the
serious.
extent of this.
That
on a
guy's
whole
super
host of
serious.
national
Look at those
security threats.
brows.
Tell us what specifically we're learning about this spy drone.
He's trying to concentrate or hold a fart in.
Jim, we
either
have
one.
seen this supersonic spy drone before, and the image we just saw right there, the WZ-8 spy drone, that picture from back in 2019 when China showed off at a parade. But at the time, it wasn't believed to be operational. It was a sort of prototype or a mock-up. But according to the Washington Post, in these leaked documents we're seeing come from the Pentagon, documents that CNN has not been able to obtain or verify, that program has come a long way. This WZ-8 surveillance spy drone, part of what the U.S. believes is part of a Chinese surveillance drone unit that's based inland from Shanghai. Take a look at the capabilities of this drone. It travels at Mach 3+, or more than 3 times the speed of sound, at an altitude of 100,000 feet, so far higher than commercial aircraft. And because of that, because of its speed and its altitude, it's difficult to detect or to intercept, making it another potential addition to what we've seen in terms of China's spy capabilities. And of course, nobody here forgets the Chinese spy balloon that traveled over much of the United States. What's interesting here is the U.S. has seen this in a bit of a role reversal, if you will.
I'll pause it for a second. I've got a weird point to make here. So they arrested this guy for leaking this information. Now we have a guy from the Pentagon coming on here like, hey, since it's out there, let's just go ahead and talk about it.
I mean,
like, to me, it's just a little weird, though. Just
stupid. Some of it is. I mean, but this is something that, you know, we should be aware of.
By the way, I guess Boomhauer decided to be a lawyer.
Seems that way.
It's weird.
Hang on, man. Tell you what. Guilty.
Guilty, man.
Hey, did y'all hear the background story about him?
No.
Did you ever read that? Did I send that to you? About he's basically like he works for the CIA or something like that.
Yeah, I've read that.
Yeah, and he's there to spy on one of them.
On Dale.
On Dale, yeah. Dale's claiming to be stupid, but he's really not.
Yeah.
That shit was funny.
Crazy conspiracy theorist dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
not if they've got Dale, it looks like Dale Gribble, not Boomhauer.
It does look like Dale Gribble.
In a suit.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Peggy.
Oh.
Get out of my head.
That's my purse. I don't know you. What do we do if someone asks for their steak well done?
We ask them politely yet firmly to leave.
Propane.
Propane.
Propane is life.
Hashtag propane.
Oh my God. Anyway, all right, moving on.
Spy drone.
Yeah, so it's a capability that China is going to have that.
It's a supersonic spy drone?
Yeah.
So it can go real quick.
Yeah.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Exactly. And that's a problem.
There's nothing we can do about it.
Deck?
Do what?
We need that on the stream deck.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah, because there's nothing we can do about it.
No, there's not.
Because we don't have supersonic stuff.
Nope.
Or
I mean, we do have supersonic stuff. That's not the problem. We just don't have supersonic spy planes, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. It's concerning.
Well, yeah, because A, it's China, and B, it's a supersonic spy plane. Like, fucking... What?
It's like they were like, all right, the balloons didn't fucking work. It's time to break this bad bitch out.
Yeah. Well, actually, the balloons did work, though. That's the scary part.
I know, but
yeah, that's the sad part is
though.
that the balloons did actually work.
They didn't work enough. How about that?
Did we mention that the balloons actually followed the same path that the original Chinese invasion?
It's something that she sent me.
Yeah.
And that we played.
Yep. That's scary.
Yep. It's terrifying.
You're welcome, by the way.
Thanks, Kate.
Frankly, disgraceful.
Disgraceful.
Anywho, so let's move on to the next story. I just thought that was interesting that came out. I mean, it's kind of an all over the place show tonight, mainly because I can't breathe and I can't focus and my vape's broke and I'm over this shit.
Ron Weasley?
Ron Weasley.
Hermione. Dumbledore.
Anyway, so we've seen Eric Swalwell get owned. Why not Adam Schiff while we're at it? Right?
Yes, please.
Let's go.
Roll that beautiful Savage footage.
I yield back, Chairman.
Gentleman yields back.
Just to listen to what this dumbass has to say.
From California, Mr. Shipp.
I thank the chairman and move to strike the last word.
Gentleman's recognized.
23 days.
I'm out of here.
That is apparently how long it takes for my Republican colleagues to move on from the tragedy of the shooting in Nashville, during which 3 9-year-old children and 3 adults were slaughtered in their school. We were supposed to hold this markup the very next day, but Republicans pulled it down at the last moment, likely knowing how callous it would seem if they decided to proceed with the markup as planned, or maybe thinking that we would forget what took place in Nashville, the country would forget, but we haven't forgotten. The parents and loved ones of those victims haven't forgotten. Evelyn Deekhouse and William Kinney and Haley Scruggs were children. We haven't forgotten them. Now, I've heard several arguments by my colleagues about essentially why we should make it easier to kill children, why we should refuse to take any step to make it more difficult to kill children in a mass shooting like we've seen time after time after time. And let me just see if I can articulate some of those arguments. One is, you don't understand guns.
Well, you don't.
You don't
and you're about to
understand
prove
guns.
that.
Well, I'll tell you this. We understand biology. We understand what a high-capacity round does to a child's body.
Pause that.
We understand what...
Wait, aren't y'all the party that...
No. Did you catch what he said?
He said we understand biology?
No. Go back. Listen closely.
Some of those arguments. One is, you don't understand guns.
Again, you don't.
You don't understand guns. Well, I'll tell you this. We understand biology.
Not that part.
We understand what a high-capacity round does to a child's body.
A high-capacity round?
There's things a high-capacity round?
Where are these high-capacity rounds?
It's a high-velocity round?
No. He's trying to make a point about high-capacity magazines that hold multiple, many rounds, up 30 to 100 rounds.
Right.
First off, there is no such thing as a high-capacity round, and if there were, I would want some. You mean to tell me that my bullet can shoot bullets?
Sign me up. But anyway, it's a high-velocity round.
Whatever you're smoking, I want it.
That's probably what he means is high-velocity round.
I'm pretty sure that's what he means.
Because it is an actual high-velocity round.
All bullets are high-velocity. That's kind of their thing.
But he's
actually, you have subsonic rounds. Those are
no. Listen, that's not my point.
Okay, you're digging too deep.
They
John.
may be
I'm back.
subsonic, but they're still moving fast enough with enough force to penetrate human flesh and kill you.
I think they're talking about the like what. I don't even know how to explain.
Which, by the way, if you've ever shot subsonic rounds, at least out of a 22.
Out of a 22, yeah.
They're not fun. They're very inaccurate.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But they sound really cool. Like, all it is, it sounds just like, it just basically sounds like like a blast cap. Just go, pop.
Yep.
It's very cool. You almost don't even need the silencer.
I think what he's trying to say the difference between the damaging effects that are going to
I'm sure
they're all going to be damaging, but
again,
at the
he
same
proves
time,
the point that they don't know anything about guns.
But at the same time, though, a 30-06 round is going to do way more damage than a 5.56.
Yes, just like a 7.62 is going to do way more damage than a 5.56. A 5.56 is a glorified 22 long rifle with a lot more powder.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
We understand what multiple rounds of an assault weapon projectile can do to tear flesh from the bone. Isn't that enough understanding? What we don't understand is your blind allegiance to the NRA. What we don't understand is why even the majority of NRA members who support assault weapon bans, why you don't support them. It's not even about the members of the NRA, of course. It's, I guess, about their organizational support or who knows what. We don't understand that blind allegiance to the NRA. Another argument we hear from our colleagues...
All right, pause it real quick. I need to make a statement about that. So I actually don't support the NRA at all. NRA, because last time I heard, they were like, oh, we're trying to compromise. What? Hold up. What compromise?
There is
what?
no compromise. Shall not be infringed.
Exactly. So I am not going to be an NRA member because F the NRA, because I'm not paying you to compromise.
No.
I'm paying, like, if I'm going to be a member, you're going to go to Congress and be like, when Congress is like, well, hey, let's figure out a plan. You're going to look at them and say, no, shall not be infringed. And that's all you're going to freaking tell them. That is all you're going to tell them.
Correct.
And when they're like, well, we need to come up with a plan. No, shall not be infringed is your answer.
That's the plan.
That is the plan. Period.
And
when they're like, well, what about 400,000 caliber, 50,000 round magazine bazooka guns? Shall not be infringed. That's the answer.
Agreed.
First of all, what
I was making
fucking gun is that?
I'm saying, like, in the future,
I want to shoot it.
I was making up some type of random
Where do
powerful
I buy
sounding
that?
gun.
Did they sell that at Larry's?
They sell those at Larry's. You can buy that on Amazon.
Also, I'm gonna find something real quick, and I really want you to put it up there. You'll just have to open a different window for it.
But yeah, I'm not a member of the NRA, nor do I want to be a member of the NRA, nor do I. No, piss on the NRA. I do not like the NRA. You know what I need to fight for my gun rights? Me and my trigger finger. Yeah.
Yes.
Dang right.
Rope tide.
Like, shall not be infringed. That's all I gotta say about it. Period. End of discussion on that.
So I'm gonna put this at the very
Oh,
bottom.
God.
Scroll to next video. You know, like that taco.
Oh God, no cap.
Okay, so go ahead and back out of this for a second, and go to the very bottom of the document. That one.
Yeah, you cared way too much on that Chicago.
It's supposed to start
you're
at-
gonna have to. There are far too many in it.
Go to 905. Sorry.
905.
Yeah.
What are you gonna top it with?
You see what's happening here. I'm just gonna tell you, this is what they think an AR-15 bullet does to the human body. Okay, this is what Joe Biden thinks this does.
Question is, how are we going to one-up it? What is this?
This is a D20.
Okay, skip to
152
1057.
millimeter howitzer.
Have you heard those things go off?
Yes.
They're pretty fucking
Yeah.
badass. Skip to what? Sorry.
1057. That's good right there.
Ready? Fire!
That doesn't even give it justice.
No, it doesn't.
What the?
You clear?
That wasn't too bad.
I don't know if you know this, but that's what one AR-15 bullet does to the human body. Okay?
I'm sure it feels like that.
That's what one AR-15 bullet does.
Look at the intestines.
The everything.
Look how they just go back.
Too
Look
bad.
how they just bare.
That is cool right there, bro. That is cool.
Just know that your intestines will make it.
Your intestines will make it.
That's the only thing.
Just long enough for you to shit yourself.
Who's goes flying out?
Yeah.
That couldn't have been a more centered shot. Freaking awesome job, dude. That was awesome.
Okay.
That was by far.
That's cool as shit.
That's
right
what
there.
the bullet from one AR-15 shot does. Okay,
According
that's what a
to-
5.56
according
does
to
to the human
Democrats.
body. Okay,
I'm-
it literally
it feels like that.
blows your entire body.
I mean, I would. Yeah. If you get shot by it, you're not getting used to getting shot. I mean, yeah, it probably feels like that. But
I think it's like 2.5 minutes in.
Or who knows what? We don't understand that blind allegiance to the NRA.
Yeah.
Or who knows what?
Anyways, what are you gonna say?
Continue.
But we don't understand that blind allegiance to the NRA. Another argument we hear from our colleagues on the other side of the aisle is because the law won't stop all gun violence, it's just not worth doing. If we can't save all lives, it's not worth saving a single life. Well, I suppose that logic works until that single life is your own, or maybe it's your child. But why is it so hard to step into the shoes of someone who's lost a loved one from gun violence?
Pause it for a second.
Don't you think we...
You know who this douchebag reminds me of? You've seen 13 Hours, the Secret Soldier Benghazi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the field officer guy?
I don't remember.
Oh, in the movie? Yeah.
The dickhead boss guy?
Yes.
That's who he sounds like and looks
You know how
like.
many times I wanted to punch him when I watched that
Yes.
movie?
That's him. He sounds like him, he looks like him, and he's got like acts
Eyes.
like him.
It's
Yeah.
the eyes.
Well, and I wanted to punch him just as equally bad.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Continue.
I'd feel differently if that had happened to one of our family. And finally, we hear the argument
Doesn't he
that
die in the movie?
nothing really works. No gun safety laws really work. Nothing works. We're powerless. And so we don't have to do anything. But of course, when you look at other countries that have enacted laws, they have made their people more safe. There's a reason why the United States is alone in the world with the magnitude of gun violence. There are, in fact, things we can do that provably make our country more safe and better protect the lives of our children.
You know what would better protect the lives of our
We just
children?
don't have the will.
Fucking parents
We
who
just don't
actually
have the
parent.
Courage. And so we see gun tragedy after gun tragedy after gun tragedy.
No, you see
Our colleagues
people
say
tragedy.
these braces were created to help disabled veterans shoot more easily. That may have been the purpose behind the original brace, but those braces now are modified by manufacturers, transforming a pistol into more concealable and deadly assault weapon. They're used to evade
Define
even the most
assault
porous
weapon,
of background
you
systems.
dick.
But even that is not enough.
And a pistol brace does not make something more
I've introduced
concealable.
legislation to strip
It's essentially
away the
a
gun
fixed
industry's
stop.
immunity from
Right.
liability, a immunity that no other industry enjoys.
Oh, except for
That
the
immunity was
pharmaceutical companies that
extended not just to the
manufactured the
industry,
COVID
but to the
vaccine.
NRA
You forgot
itself.
about those.
But that's too much for my colleagues who think that, no, the gun industry alone ought to enjoy the ability to act negligently without repercussion.
Yeah, well, take that and shove it up your
so
ass with the high
sick.
capacity rounds.
Of seeing these constant tragedies, of seeing these grieving parents. I'm so fed up
Well, we're fed up
with
with
the lack
you.
of courage here.
They give your districts more money to hire
One of
armed
you
guards. Idiot.
Accepts the necessity of a ban on assault weapons immediately within days,
No, because that
as our former
fixes
colleague from near Buffalo
Why fix the problem?
was forced to
when
resign
you
or
can-
forced to say he
you
would.
can
There's no
constantly
outrage.
make money off of it.
There's no outrage if there's not a problem. And
Right,
you know,
right,
how all
exactly.
of these people are, not just Democrats but Republicans too. They feed on outrage.
Right.
It's just like the Bud Light
Couldn't
can.
run for re-election because that was the end of his chances.
He drinks Bud Light.
We could do better this. We have to do
That's
better
why he's
this. I'm
gay
sick
and
of
wants to
doing
ban
nothing.
guns.
I'm sick of thoughts and prayers. And the slaughter continues. We are not powerless to do something here. If we had a little courage, we could save lives. I yield.
Gentleman yields back.
All right, so here's the thing. And I keep trying to bring this up to people, and people don't believe me. They don't believe me, and I don't know why. Well, I know why, because people are
They're disconnected
detached from reality. If we ban assault weapons, you are not going to save lives. Matter of fact, you are going to kill a lot of people. You know why? Do you know why? Because there's going to be another damn revolution in this country.
Well, there's going to be that, and also, even if there wasn't a revolution, criminals don't follow gun laws.
That too.
But it doesn't stop somebody from using something else.
Exactly. Well, you know, they fail to, mention the stabbing deaths in other countries.
They fail to mention the guy in France who literally ran a moving truck or a box truck over 40 people. They fail to mention, the increased rate of stabbings in the UK. They fail to mention a lot of things that disprove their point because they don't care about the truth. They care about outrage.
And they also fail to mention about, how the people that came in with the Charlie Hebdo case and just shot everybody up and nobody could do nothing because nobody didn't have a freaking gun.
Yeah, see, we have the Second Amendment to protect against dickheads like you.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So, my closing argument on for him is come and take it. You gonna be the one to breach the door, bruh? Because I don't think it's gonna be a good day for you. Just saying.
No, he's not. He's gonna sit in his comfy little chair in Congress and virtue signal.
Yeah,
continue that video because the guy that talks next is
Pun is recognized.
Who's like the last word?
Gentleman's recognized.
As a father of 3 young children, I'm deeply wounded by the horrific tragedy that we saw in Nashville. We saw the lives of 6 people taken, 3 young children. The shooting was reported to police at 10:13 a.m., and the suspect was shot by 2 Nashville police officers at 10:27 a.m.
I like how he's wearing clearly a bracelet made by a child.
Yes.
Like you wore that specifically just today.
He probably wears it every day.
I don't know.
He got 3 kids.
I don't know. It looks like there's multiple bracelets there, though.
I'm pretty sure this is planned.
Could have been. Quick response time saved countless lives is a testament to law enforcement, and we thank them every single day.
Do you normally sit like that?
As a congressman, I want to do everything in my power to protect children all around this country from experiencing something like that again. Like my colleagues on the left, I'm different. And I think an actual solution to protect our children is not what's being proposed by the left, nor is it political. It is a clear attempt to erode the Second Amendment rights for law-abiding citizens and AR-15 owners like myself. Every time I walk around this Capitol, I feel extremely safe. I've deployed multiple times. I've been on multiple bases. I think to myself, oh my goodness, hot damn. I don't have to really worry about anything because I'm surrounded by people with guns that want to keep me safe. We have barricades, multiple checkpoints, metal detectors. We are staffed by 2 or 4 police officers at all times. All day there was a gentleman standing at this door in case somebody entered this room with a gun. The U.S. Capitol Police is comprised of more than 2,000 officers and over 350 civilian employees who provide operational and administrative support that has an annual budget of approximately $460 million.
But you can't.
And for some of my colleagues, that's still not enough because they have their own private security on top of that, surrounded by people that carry guns. And I can assure you that the people here on the Hill are well protected. What about our school children? This is not a round. This is a pen. Now, one of my staffers tried to bring this pen to my office, and he was stopped by a metal detector, and it went through the x-ray machine, and he was almost tackled by our police services right here at the Capitol, doing their jobs, of course. And we proved
that. I'm sure they did that as a.
Yeah, they probably did it to prove a point.
Yeah.
That, of course, it was a pen. If a pen that looks like this can't get to my office, then how does a homicidal maniac that has weapons walk into a school and arbitrarily murder innocent children? Because we wear this pen, that does not make us more important than our children. There's a private school in Houston, Texas, and I was there a few months ago, and I was giving a young man his appointment to West Point. I drove on the campus, and I was met by 2 armed guards. There were parking places that were just for visitors, and they had even more armed guards beyond that. I felt very secure as I drove onto this school. The headmaster or head of school, she met me in the front, and I said, "My God, ma'am, I feel very secure in this place. What's the secret here?" She said, "Wesley, actually, given my religious beliefs, I hate guns. I don't do guns. But it's my responsibility to keep these young people safe. It's not about how I feel about guns or what I think about them or what I do or don't know. I must keep these children safe because they are the most precious things that we have."
Fantastic.
On this earth.
Fantastic.
I keep hearing this word AR-15s and a weapon of war. I find that funny because, well, I've been to war. And you should Google the AX-64 Delta Apache helicopter. That is what I would call a true weapon of war. But I feel people calling these things a weapon of war, but they've never been to war and they don't know what war is. And they're using the AR-15 as a scapegoat for everything. I say that because according to the ATF, 6% of homicides were at the hands of AR-15s, 60% at the hands of handguns. So if you really want to have an intellectually honest conversation about homicide reduction, you would go after pistols. But you don't do that because you want to go after the AR-15 first to then eventually get to the pistol to disarm Americans to infringe on our Second Amendment rights. I want you to know something. It ain't the gun. It's the homicidal maniac.
Yeah.
The deadliest days in this country, 9/11, not a single shot was fired. Timothy McVeigh, fertilizer, Oklahoma City. The Boston Marathon, pressure cookers, not a single shot was fired. I know what war looks like, but what I do want to say is we have got to agree that we all protect our children, and we should not be protected more than them. And I yield back.
Anywho, that man is legend. Wait for it. And I hope you're not lactose intolerant because the next part is dairy. Legendary.
That man lays pipe.
That guy fucks.
Yeah.
And he fucks hard.
He fucks so hard, that's why he's got 3 kids.
That is indeed why he's got 3 kids. So the next part of this is Schiff and Matt Gaetz.
Who does he represent?
California.
Oh. What?
Go figure.
What?
Wait,
shocking, I know.
What the
up one?
The guy that just talked?
Yeah.
No. The guy that just talked, I don't know where he's from. I think he's from Texas.
You're talking about the guy that looks like the guy from 13
I'm talking
Hours.
about the other guy.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I thought you were talking about the Bible.
No. So now we have California man versus Florida man in this.
Notice have it, the amendment is not agreed to. Who seeks recognition? Gentleman from California seeks recognition.
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk.
The clerk will report the amendment.
Reserve a point of order.
Point of order is reserved. Mr. McClintock.
Amendment to the amendment in the nature of a substitute offered by Mr. McClintock, offered by
Without
Mr.
objection, the amendment will be considered as read, and the gentleman is recognized to explain his amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment is simple. It would exempt individuals fleeing communist and totalitarian regimes from Section 104. We should exempt people fleeing communist and totalitarian dictatorships from this legislation and allow them to apply for asylum as our laws were intended. The underlying bill would bar individuals who cross the border between ports of entry from seeking asylum. This means individuals would be forced to wait in Mexico to cross the border and be processed. That would make people fleeing communist and totalitarian regimes sitting ducks for the cartels for exploitation, abuse, kidnapping, or murder. We have seen what happens when people are forced to wait in Mexico for too long. Under the Remain in Mexico program, there were over 1,500 publicly reported cases of murder, rape, torture, kidnapping, and other violent assaults against migrants returned under the Remain in Mexico program. In fact, just last month, we saw what happens when vulnerable migrants are put at risk, when migrants in an immigration center in Ciudad Juarez were left to be burned alive. This is not the fate we want for anyone.
It's freaking
We
Juarez,
don't want people
bro.
fleeing totalitarian dictatorships, like people fleeing Venezuela or Cuba or Nicaragua or Russia or China or Vietnam or elsewhere, to have to face those kind of dangers. There was a time when my colleagues on the other side of the aisle claimed to oppose communism and totalitarian dictatorships and welcomed people fleeing those horrible regimes. The underlying bill suggests otherwise. I urge my colleagues to join in this amendment so that those fleeing asylum are not put at those fleeing persecution by these communist regimes are not put at additional risk by having to wait for long periods of time in dangerous places before they can lawfully apply for asylum.
Will the gentleman yield for a question?
With that, Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back.
Will you yield for the clarifying question?
You could seek your own recognition. I'm going to yield back to the chair.
Gentleman yields back. Does the gentleman seek recognition?
I guess so.
The point of order is withdrawn, and Mr. Gates is recognized.
Thank you. I yield to the sponsor. If the sponsor would be willing to engage in a colloquy with me, would you consider the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to be a totalitarian dictatorship?
Mr. Gates, I give the same answer that Representative Lofgren gave before. These are not new terms of art. These are the terms used in current law. And so we are merely applying current law to protect people, and in particular, in this case, those that are fleeing communist dictatorships. If the gentleman, his objection is that this definition is overbroad.
No.
You
I'm
yielded
not
to me.
objecting. I'm asking a clarifying question.
If you would yield, if you would respond to my question, which is, if this amendment is narrowed to communist dictatorships,
That's when you throw the Kong
will you
toy.
support it?
Yeah.
Again, Mr. Schiff, I'm just trying to understand what
I guess
your
your
amendment
answer is
says.
no, then, Mr. Gates.
Well, that you perhaps assume too much, my
Then
friend.
your answer is
because
yes.
I'm asking what you mean by totalitarian dictatorship and just whether the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia would qualify. It's just a yes or no question.
Well, I certainly think.
Forgive me for not knowing the list that Ms.
Would you like an answer, Mr. Gates?
I
certainly
attempting a second
consider
time.
Saudi Arabia to be a dictatorship. Yes, I do.
A totalitarian one?
Mr. Gates, my question is, if your problem with this amendment is you think it's
Mr.
overbroad.
Schiff, I'm not stating a problem with the amendment. I am merely asking you what it means.
My question then, Mr. Gates, is will
What
you
is the
support
difference
it?
between a dictatorship and a totalitarian dictatorship?
My question is...
Saudi Arabia is a dictatorship.
There is a difference between totalitarianism and dictatorship.
Well, sure, I'm asking you to explain the differences of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
That's really the question, Mr. Gates.
Why can't you just answer whether or not your amendment would apply to
Mr.
them?
Gates, this is just a rhetorical exercise.
It's
If you're
a
interested,
serious effort to understand whether or not your amendment
if your
applies to the
question is sincere, which I know assumes too much, but if it is, then will you support the amendment confined to communist dictatorships? Yes or no, Mr. Gates?
I'm probably not going to support the amendment either way. That
Well,
doesn't
there
mean
you go.
I don't
There you
want to know
go.
what it means.
Then what about all the rhetoric you constantly espouse about standing up to communism? Here you're saying someone fleeing communism, if they're interdicted between ports, then they will not qualify.
Right,
Doesn't
because
matter what kind of
there is
regime.
a mechanism by which one seeks asylum for those very reasons, and it's not showing up and creating an entire
So this
list of
whole thing
asylum
about Saudi
systems.
Arabia is just a red herring, right?
I'm
Mr. Gates?
just curious to know whether or not you
Well,
consider them
I
qualifying under the
appreciate
bill.
your
and I
curiosity, but I would
burned
appreciate
2.5 minutes. And it's just a simple question.
consistency.
You know, Mr.
I
Schiff,
would
people on the
appreciate
border
consistency
don't get to have a
more than
debate like this
curiosity.
like you and I do. It's
I would
not your time,
appreciate
Mr.
it
Schiff. I'm
if you
reclaiming
would
my
stand
time.
up to
Mr. Gates has the time. Mr. Gates has the time.
Say you do.
Mr. Gates has the time.
Look, on the border, someone doesn't get to have this joyful little colloquy with you. A Border Patrol agent has to look at someone and assess whether or not they're going to let them in or not. And I'm just, for clarity, even though I'm not going to support your amendment, I'm going to support the bill, in the unlikely event that your amendment were to be adopted, I simply want to know if someone encounters someone from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, whether or not the exception that your amendment affords would allow that or not.
As I said, I'm using the existing definition, Mr. Gates. My
So
question
does
to
that
you
definition
is,
include the
my
kingdom or
question
not?
to you is, will
This
you
is
live
insane.
up to
You
your
just have to answer the
anti-communist rhetoric?
question.
Will you live up to your anti-communist rhetoric, or is it just a lot of
Why do
talk
Democrats
from you,
hate?
Mr. Gates?
Why do
I don't
Democrats
think you
hate
have to
answering
blow a hole
questions?
through the
It's
asylum
just
system to
a lot
oppose
of talk.
communism.
I guess it's just a lot of talk with you. Nothing more than a lot
No,
of
that's all it is
I
with
just
you.
want to know if the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is included or excluded.
He told you.
How is this
I
so
want an
difficult for
answer.
you?
Well,
You
You're
have this
dancing around
compassion
it.
for the people who would have to make this assessment on the border. I just want to
You're
know.
Would you
filibustering
care
the
for me to
question.
read the code section to you?
Gladly.
The existence of a single political party organized on a dictatorial basis with so close an identity between such party and its policies and the government policies of the country in which it exists, and the party and the government constitute an indistinguishable unit, and the forcible suppression of opposition to such party. That is how the code currently defines
Would
a
you-
totalitarian
would you
party
define Saudi
and a
Arabia that way or not?
totalitarian dictatorship.
Would you define
So
them that
if
way
you-
or not, Adam?
So if you wanted to know, read the code. But the
But would you
question
apply
is
to
not.
them or not?
The
It's your
question is
amendment.
not whether you can read the code. The question is
wrote the
whether you
amendment, and you
stand for
can't say
anything,
whether it
Mr.
applies
Gates.
to a
Clearly
specific
know
question
what
is,
the actual
do you
is
stand?
yes.
Do you
But he
stand for
won't say
anything?
it.
Does
Yeah.
anything you say mean
Because he
anything
knows
to
I
you?
merely
he's
am
trying to do
seeking
something.
your own
Are you
ability
really
to define
so
your own
soft?
amendment.
Are you really so soft on communism now,
I would
Mr. Gates?
throw
I am
the
shocked.
phone
soft
towards
on
the
communism.
He
wall.
wants him to
Soft
say
on
something
definition.
because he knows he probably has ties to Saudi
Soft on
Arabia.
the basics of
You
the
would
English
prosecute.
language.
He won't. That's why he won't
Soft
say
on the
nothing.
asylum
Right.
statutes,
Someone
mechanisms
fleeing
by which a Border
communism,
Patrol agent would
merely
have to apply
because they
this.
won't.
You know what? A
wait
Border
for
Patrol
Mexico
agent
to
isn't going to
be-
have this.
Mercifully, the
Mercifully,
gentleman is out of time. Mercifully, the gentleman is out of time. Okay.
Yeah, that.
Should we have unanimous
Mercifully,
consent to
No,
continue?
no,
Indeed.
everybody's out of time. Everybody's out of time.
Forever.
Yeah, he's got ties to Saudi
Does anyone
Arabia, is
seek
what that is.
Nah, I doubt that, but
No, I'm saying
No,
he's got
something to
some
do
monetary
with
tie to
no,
Saudi
he
Arabia.
just doesn't want to define anything because that's how liberals get away with everything. They refuse to define their terms.
But then they're not going to get their Saudi Arabia money.
You mean the dirty oil money?
Exactly.
That they oppose so vehemently?
Yes, but they like that money. So
Anyway, I
next
gotta blow my nose again. Hold
is
I like them expensive cars and things.
next is the Dadeville shooting, right?
Yep. No, Joe, that's just the next thing on the list for no reason.
Well, I mean, that what we just did is the Adam Schiff battle, right?
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, Dadeville shootings next. So, when was it? This last Saturday? Yeah, it was. It was while we were on
air.
It was while we were on air last Saturday. At a Sweet 16 here in Alabama, there was a shooting. And it was considered a mass shooting because, I mean, how many did it kill? 6?
I can't remember exactly the video.
But it was considered a mass shooting, though, right?
It was a mass shooting. There were a lot of people injured.
Yeah. There was like 18
Another
people
mass
injured or something
shooting.
like that.
This one at a Sweet 16 birthday party. Many of the victims just teenagers. Authorities in Alabama say 4 people died, at least 15 wounded by gunfire.
15
Some of
wounded.
the victims are in critical condition. Police rushed to the dance studio where the party was being held after gunfire erupted at the event. Victims were taken to several local hospitals where crowds waited for word on their conditions. One of those killed was a star on the local high school football team who dreamed of playing in the NFL. The incident is one of at least 9 mass shootings that took place in the United States on Saturday alone. So far this year, only 106 days into 2023, there have been at least 163 mass shootings in the U.S. Late today, President Biden called the recent violence outrageous and unacceptable. The president reminding Americans that guns are the leading killer of children in this country. ABC's Elwin Lopez leads us off tonight from Alabama.
Tonight, a Sweet 16 birthday party turning deadly in this small Alabama town.
Police have blocked off Broadneck Street in Dadeville.
4 killed and at least 15 others shot after gunfire erupted at the gathering, taking place at this dance hall.
What happened?
The hospital emergency unit here flooded, a crowd gathering outside. One hospital confirming most of the victims they received were teenagers. 5 of the patients in critical condition. One of those killed, 18-year-old Phil Dowdle, a promising football star set to play on a scholarship at Jacksonville State this fall, fatally shot at his sister's birthday party.
Phil is a humble, a major smile. He had one goal is to, get to the NFL and take care of his mom.
President Biden condemning the shooting in a statement today and repeating calls for gun control legislation, writing, "What has our nation come to when children cannot attend a birthday party without fear, when parents have to worry every time their kids walk out the door to school, to the movie theater, or to the park?" Residents of this
Number one, you should be worried about that 100% of the time. It should always
even
be
before
like
all this.
Even before all the shootings and all of this, you should be like that regardless.
Right.
Yep.
Even if your child had armed security, you should still worry about your child. You should still be concerned. You should still wonder.
Yep. Agreed. So,
second of all, another thing is, unless your child is 15, 16 years old, guess what? You should probably be accompanying said child.
Yes. Now, this was prior to the suspects being arrested, right? What they don't know yet is that this wasn't just a random psychopath. Go to the next video.
No, this one.
No, not this one. The next one. No, up.
That.
Yep.
New information in a deadly shooting at a Sweet 16 party. The Douglas County Sheriff says it was gang-related. Just minutes ago, the Sheriff's office released these booking photos of the 3 teen suspects. The Sheriff says they killed 14-year-old Ajane Hill and 15-year-old Samuel Moon. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor is live in Douglasville with the new charges the suspects face.
That this wasn't just a random psychopath? It was kids in a gang? Well, now that seems to tell a different story. It seems to back up our opinion that criminals are going to do criminal things regardless of how easy it is to get a gun.
Thugs gonna thug, man.
Because those 3 people that were on that screen could not legally purchase their firearms.
That dude in the middle just needs to be shot in the head. Freaking smiling after he shot all them people.
Correct. I agree with that. Now, this isn't about race in any way, right? A bunch of black teenagers shot a bunch of black teenagers. Now, in Chicago, don't they call those mutual combatants?
I don't know.
They do, in fact, call them mutual combatants.
Huh. Interesting.
This, again, goes back to the problem is not the gun. The problem is the fact that parents are not parenting their children.
In the words of Sergeant... what's his name from... Full Metal Jacket?
Gunnery Sergeant Hartman?
Yes. It is not the gun that kills, but it is the hard heart that kills.
I don't think you got that quote completely correct. But yes, it is the hard heart that kills.
I will look it up.
So, again, here we go. We have gang violence, black on black crime. Blacks are far more likely to be shot by other blacks than they are by white people. Period. It's not up for debate. Like, this is how the world works these days. Disgusting as it may be, this is what happens. White people are more likely to be killed by another white person. Black people are more likely to be killed by another black person. The problem is not the tool, though. The problem is the people. Because those 16-year-olds were members of a gang. And they shot up a birthday party.
But who are they aiming for, probably?
There's no telling. Probably the football guy. because he was getting out of the life. I mean, makes sense, right?
Probably.
Okay, so the quote is, "Your rifle is only a tool. It is a hard heart that kills."
Correct. So, there's nothing that, and this was in the news cycle, and it was gone as soon as the suspects were released, because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Because it's not a white person.
It's not a white
Shooting a
person
black
that shot up a bunch of black people. It's 3 black kids that shot up black kids.
Nobody ever wants to talk about that.
At some point, you've got to be honest about the fact that the black community only matters to Democrats every 4 years, or when a white person kills a member of the black community. Am I wrong?
No.
Anyway, so moving on. For our next portion, we have a disgraced former nuclear waste management
This
specialist.
guy. This
Mr.
guy.
Sam Britton.
This freaking guy.
So this non-binary dipwad that was stealing luggage from people. You don't have to play the video. The video is not the important part. It's the article.
Oh, but I wanted to hear him.
I don't think it has him talking in there, but I didn't watch that. You can play.
Are you looking to change your mood? Well, these are full-spectrum infused gummies from Hello Mood. I've been trying mood products for about
It's only March. We're going to go ahead and just declare this the best story of the year. So we told you about a Tanzanian fashion designer who was watching Fox News coverage of Sam Brinton. That would be Joe Biden's non-binary cross-dressing nuclear waste expert who stole luggage off carousels as part of his fetish. So this designer, Asiya Alkag, noticed that Sam Brinton was wearing one of her dresses. And we thought, how great would it be to track down this Tanzanian designer to tell her story? And we have. She joins us now with her husband, Kamsin. Asiya, thank you so much. Kamsin, thank you. Asiya, will you tell us what happened? How did you notice that it was your dress?
Bismillah. Thanks for inviting me to your show.
Okay.
My name is Asiya Idaros Kamsin.
So
Tanzanian
anyway,
fashion designer based in Houston, Texas. On February.
what the fuck is this
I love you
woman
ever watch
saying?
his facial reactions.
Yes.
I fucking love him.
So
Tucker's
Sam
probably
Britton,
just like, damn it, why did they
going
give
down,
me this one?
Going down to the text, please. Sam Britton, a non-binary former senior Department of Energy official, agreed in court Monday to undergo a mental health evaluation as part of an adult diversion program. Wait, hold on. You mean to tell me that
He didn't have to undergo one before he was the nuclear waste management guy?
No. You mean to tell me that stealing luggage was the thing that told you he needed to have a mental health evaluation? Not the being bald with a goatee and wearing dresses?
The non-binary thing.
I think he might have been throwing red flags way earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
it'd be different if he actually tried to look like a woman.
But he doesn't.
But he looks like a dude wearing a dress.
Exactly. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say about this. This person was appointed to oversee the disposal of nuclear waste.
Yeah.
And stealing luggage was the trigger point. I think
he looks like Matt Damon.
Binary cross-dressing nuclear waste.
I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at it.
I mean, that's not a dead.
Off carousels as part of his fetish.
Look at
this
it.
designer, Asiya Alkag, noticed that Sam Brinton was wearing one of her dresses. And we thought, how great would it be to track down this Tanzanian designer to tell her story? And we have.
Didn't
He joins
throw
us
the
now with her
flag?
husband, Kamsin. Asiya, thank you so much. Kamsin,
Go
thank
ahead
you.
and skip forward.
Asiya, will you tell us what happened? How did you notice that it was your dress?
I can't. Why is it doing this?
I mean, look at that.
Which was in the missing bag.
Look at it.
2018.
You
Oh my
think
God,
that-
I was shocked for more than 40
You think that
years. I
that
worked hard.
wasn't the red flag?
That will haunt my dreams tonight.
It's very paining. Then I made another police report in Houston. They told me to
This
wait for
wasn't the trigger
investigation
for the
on
mental health
January.
evaluation.
Somebody calling me.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Called me and
That's what I'm
introduced
saying.
himself.
And, well,
and
not
he
only
told
that,
me
but the
he's
terrible
working
lipstick
on
job.
my issue, but still
I
today I,
mean,
had
dear
no
The fact that it's a bald
was
dude with a
asking myself
goatee and a
how this
dress.
person
Again.
got my custom-made designs because
I said it'd be
it's one
different
of
if he
a
actually
kind,
tried to look like a woman.
and wear them without fear
But
and
he's not.
display in public. I don't accuse him as a thief, but there is question to be answered here. What I can say for now, with all pains, time, suffer,
what the?
Let down
Those
my
heels
people,
don't even go
didn't
with that
attend the
jumpsuit,
show.
bitch.
What I need is justice now, and I believe there is justice.
Well, I believe that too.
That
Has he
didn't
reached
clue you
out
in?
to you, the man who clearly
that?
stole your luggage, Sam Brinton? Has he called you or returned these dresses?
No.
No. No, because it's his
May
pretty
I ask a
dress
question
now.
of your husband?
I
so
stole
here you
it
have this
fair
entitled little
and
creep who's a
square.
federal official stealing your wife's
Anyway,
clothing.
enough of
What's
this.
your reaction to that, and
baggage.
what would you say to Sam Brinton?
I'm interested to see what this guy says. Hold on, go back.
Oh my God.
And if
We're
you could.
running out of time.
Well, the only thing I can say, it's paining, and I was going through hardship, to try to calm her down. And
Okay, so he's not going to
because
say nothing like this guy
is her
crazy.
passion. She's been doing this for
No.
40 years.
All right, we can just, yeah.
You're taking our income away, motherfucker.
Okay, so we're not gonna pull up the database, but if you subscribe to our Substack, I'll put the show notes in tomorrow. You can go look. I actually found a gun violence database that's got a lot of mass shootings in there and a lot of interesting ones in certain cities that you don't hear anything about these shootings. And when you go to look at the incidents, it's pretty clear as to why.
Right. Usually gang related or some junk.
Right. So we're going to skip right past this, and we're going to go to this week's installment of We Hate Her. No. Not this week on Twitter.
I know, it was a joke. See, Propes. I don't know how long ago he said that.
That wasn't on there for very long. I'm going to need you to put that back up there. So pretty. I'm so proud of myself for that one.
It was pretty good.
I love it. I mean, you got the sack, you got the deuce, you got Black Debbie, you got the myth
do it one more
herself. Hear anything?
Beyond that, there's no audio. There you go.
Yeah, that image doesn't have any audio sources on it.
Okay.
So,
I did not mean to hit that. I'm so sorry. No, I hit full screen.
There.
You know
Can't
what?
get be a dick. Can't get good help no more.
Amateur hour over here.
All right, I quit. I quit. Fuck you. Fuck you.
We don't pay
Yes,
you.
you're cool. I'm out.
There's a
don't pay
lot of
you, you
buttons
can't
over
quit.
there, and
We
to be fair, they
you
are
moved
kind of
everything,
small, and
and
I
you
did
got it
move
all in
things.
retarded areas.
Well, sorry.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Anywho, so let's go to the first one.
On the debt limit, what will it take for the president to sit down and have a face-to-face conversation with House Speaker McCarthy at this point to try to hash out some of this?
So look, I've been very clear when it comes to the debt ceiling.
something flying around.
Yeah, that would be the
should be done without
flies
conditions.
circling your
That should
bullshit.
be done just like Speaker McCarthy himself and other Republicans, when they got together with Democrats the 3 times in the last administration, they should deal with this. This is their constitutional duty to make that happen. As it relates to the budget,
she blinks
we
so
saw
fucking much.
what Speaker McCarthy and MAGA wing of the
Because
Republican
she's
Party
lying.
put forth, which was, we believe, is cool. We believe, which will be really harm American families who are struggling every day to make ends meet. That's what they put forward, their plan, their blueprint. That's what it tells us. If you look at the 22% cuts in veteran services, if you look at how they want to cut Meals on Wheels, they want to cut law enforcement funding, that's what it shows. So we're going to take a look at it. We're going to look at the impacts of the plan, the blueprint that they put forth, and we appreciate that the Speaker put that together. And look,
No, you don't.
the President has been very clear. Show me your budget, and I'll show you what you value.
And I'll show you mine.
What the Republicans in Congress, in the House specifically, along with the Speaker McCarthy, value. And this is what they put forward yesterday, something that we believe will harm American families.
Can I ask a follow-up there? When
That's
the president
hilarious.
announced his budget, he said, quote, "I'm ready to meet with the speaker anytime tomorrow if he has his budget."
Nope, that's a lie.
Liar!
He
He's
has
not.
now put forward a proposal, so will there be a meeting?
Well, I just said, we're going to look at the impact of the plan that they put forward. We're going to take a look at it. I've said that already. Right now, what we see with the 22% spending cuts that they put forward, it's going to hurt education, it's going to hurt veterans medical care, Meals on Wheels, food safety. So that's what we're seeing right now. But we're going to take a closer look. We're going to analyze that. We appreciate the Speaker for putting this forward. But again,
You're
it
a
doesn't
liar.
stop them for acting
You're a
right
liar.
away immediately to put a piece of legislation on the floor to make sure that we do not default. We should not be. Congress, specifically Speaker McCarthy and the right wing, the MAGA extremists, should not be.
Did you say the
holding our
white
economy,
wing?
Right wing.
To put forth, should not be holding our Speaker McCarthy and the right wing, the MAGA extremists,
Just the way
should
she
not
said
be
that.
holding our economy.
That was a close one.
To put forth programs that's going to hurt American people. So again, we're going to analyze what they put forward to us, and we'll have more to share.
You're a liar.
I'm just saying that one thing that we know for sure is they need to make sure that we do not default. That is something Republicans in Congress need to act on now. They can do that
No.
right
No.
away. We're going to look
That's
at
something
the
that
impacts of
both
this
parties
blueprint
need to
that they
act
put
on,
forward.
and you guys need to actually
It
negotiate.
sounds like you're saying that there's a possibility that the president won't sit down with
I'm
the
not
House.
saying
Because he won't.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying we're looking closely at the proposal that they put forward. We're going to analyze the impact of the
Lies.
22% spending cuts that they put forward. But what we are saying at the same time, look, don't have a meeting to announce, but we've been very, very clear. We need to make sure that we avoid default. We're going to look at the impact.
You're
All right,
no longer
next
saying there will be.
Deucey's over there. He's just like, I'm getting my turd ready. You just wait.
There's no Deuce this week.
He's right there.
Yeah, but there's no.
She didn't call on him. He's got the big turd getting it ready, boy.
Move around. Okay,
First
go ahead.
of all, whoever does her hair should be strung and fucking quartered.
Yes.
Sometimes they do a really good job. This week, not so much.
No. Never.
Never? You don't think so?
Ever.
I think sometimes they do a good job.
You know what?
Disgraceful.
Yep, I agree. Let's go.
April, you're up here now. All right, come on up, April. Come on up. All right, you ready? All right.
So I want to ask about gas prices.
Let's switch sides.
Switch to the economy side. Yeah,
Okay.
gas prices. The price of gas has been inching up
It's just
24
like,
cents over the past
oh,
month.
you
Are there any
just
new
wait,
actions the
bitch.
president's going to take now to bring gas prices down for the summer?
So, as a reminder, gas prices are not where they were a year ago because of the actions that this president has taken.
That's not saying
They have
much.
Gone down by $1.30
Hold.
Since this summer.
They're still up over $1.50. Fuck off. Liar.
Gas prices went down about a fart's worth, so we're doing pretty good.
Again, because of what the president has done, I was being asked about why the president talks about the economy, because he wants to make sure that the American people know the work that he's been doing and how he has put inflation number one thing
How
that he
he's
wants to get
fucked
done
us with
as
his
it relates to
inflation.
the economy. And time and
The only
time
thing that
again,
man-
we have seen analyst predictions
no.
proven
There's no.
wrong. And so, look,
you're about to make
Proven
a
wrong?
joke,
clear
Joe, I
that he
swear
will
to
do
God.
everything
What?
that he can to
I thought
continue to
are you
lower
about to make a dick joke?
No.
Why'd you open that door?
I thought he was going to say something like, the only thing that man can inflate is
The only
gas."
thing
He
that
just
man
called-
knows about inflation is inflating his colon with his gas.
Fair enough. Anywho,
lower costs for the American people, and that includes calling on oil and gas companies to use the permits and profits available to them to increase production, which is already on track to reach a record high this year. I don't have any additional actions to provide to you. I'm being told that we have to go because the president's going to be leaving shortly, and all you have to leave.
Where that meets inflation. So core inflation is basically flat. If we see gas price inflation come back into it, how concerned is the president that inflation will then come back up? And we've seen him resist policy pivots. Are there any concerns is there any examples of the president possibly looking at policy pivots for the future?
So we're always monitoring gas prices, which we know are a key part of families' budget, which is why the president has done the work that he has. Again,
So he's
gas
done
prices
nothing.
are not where they were a year ago. They have gone down since it's the highest peak this past summer.
Still
And we
up
have always
since he
said
took
it will
office.
take some time for inflation to come down, and we may see bumps in the roads, but that's why lowering costs and fighting inflation remains the president's top priority. That's why the Inflation Reduction Act is important. That's why the bipartisan infrastructure legislation is so important. That's why the Chimps and Science Act is so important. All of these are part of the president's economic policies to make sure that we meet the American people where they are. And bye, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
Let's be honest with ourselves though. The reason gas prices are so damn high is because OPEC's being a dick.
Well, that's part of it. The other part is because Joe Biden canceled Keystone Pipeline.
Yeah, well, but that's why OPEC's being a dick though.
And he's told the fossil fuel industry that he's going to end them.
Also, why OPEC's being a dick.
So
OPEC decided to be a dick.
Boys, we can have
Stupid.
both. We can have both.
It's just stupid.
Stupid.
Just stupid.
We
On
can
to the
have,
next one.
We can have batteries and combustion.
No. Nope. Can't do that.
We can do both.
Don't be dumb, Joe. Don't be dumb. Okay?
I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm
kind of retarded.
Both. What a concept.
But first I wanted to follow.
So this goes back to our point about being the wrong color if you want to get invited to the White House.
Oh, yeah, I've heard this one.
I have a question about judiciary, but first I wanted to follow up on your RPRO. I wonder if you can talk about how the president learned about and ingested the news. And a presidential phone call is a significant and rare thing. Why did he decide to make this phone call and then to tell the nation that he did it?
So I think also the parents spoke to the phone call as well. I think you guys heard directly from the parents who spoke to the call that the president had with Ralph, and I think you also heard from others who are supporting Ralph in this moment. Look, you guys heard the news. It was a devastating. A 16-year-old, a sweet kid, as he's being reported, was shot in the head. Twice. This is a president.
He was shot in the head once.
As we know.
Yeah.
Understands loss. Understands
That was
the
a lie.
importance.
The other time he was shot in the arm
Of
or the
making
leg.
sure that he's a president that's there when a family is suffering and dealing with a hard time.
As long as you're black.
And that's what you saw. This is a president having to deal with another shooting, talking to another family.
Yeah, whatever.
About what they're going through with their kid.
Oh,
being
he's
shot.
just big heart
For
Biden,
ringing
man. Big heart
The
Biden.
wrong doorbell. Again, I want to be very careful. There's still an investigation going on, so I don't want to get ahead of it.
What about the
But
girl that pulled in the wrong
that's what we
driveway?
know thus
No.
far.
Her parents don't
And
get a phone
so,
call. She white.
What about the Christian kids?
No. They don't get a phone call. They're Christians.
And white.
And white.
What about all the black people that got killed by other black people in Chicago?
No. It doesn't fit our narrative.
What about all the white people that got killed by other white people?
Also doesn't fit our narrative.
And they're white.
And they're white.
So
you got to be black to get a phone call.
How many times do we
No,
have to teach you this
you have to
lesson,
be
old man?
black killed by a white person.
Correct. Or just shot by a white person.
There you go. So not see when they start saying they actually care about black people, they actually don't care about black people. They just actually care about the black people that are going to
Voting
help
for them every 4 years.
That are going no. They don't even care about those black people. They
Well,
just
they do care about those
They
black
just care about the black people that are going to help them push their narrative.
Every 4 years.
They just actually care about the black people that are going to help them push their narrative. That's the only black people they care about.
Correct.
The president wanted to reach out to the family and to Ralph and to say that, we wish him a speedy recovery, have a conversation, let them know that he and the First Lady are with them. And I don't think that's unusual or uncommon for this president to do.
You know what'd be awesome? I'm just waiting for that one person he calls, and they'd be like, boy, shut up. I voted for the other guy.
Shut your damn mouth, boy.
Get out of here.
And last one.
Yeah, following up on the meeting that you announced between President Biden and the 3 Tennessee state lawmakers, why was it important for the president that they visit the White House and that he sit down with them here? And is there something specific, that he wants to get out of this meeting to share with the American public?
Well, the president has been very clear about how important it is to take the next steps when it comes to gun reform. And he saw these 3 legislators as taking that next step, right? When calling for assault weapons ban, which is incredibly important. He was proud and very he was
spit it out.
of their efforts and what they were trying to do in the state house, and how important it is to have that type of visibility, to have those type of voices out there, to continue to call on an issue that he's been talking about, not just for the past several months, but for years, which is to ban assault weapons, right? And that's
Define
what
that.
we know is killing our communities. We see them in our
Define
schools.
an assault weapon that a woman owns.
We see them in places of worship.
I'm going to hit you with this.
And this is not, weapons of war should not be on the streets. And so
Does
he
that
wants
make it
to,
an assault
they had a
mason jar?
conversation. He thanked them for
It's
speaking
assault,
out and standing
but it's
their
not
ground,
an assault
and being
jar.
very clear about what's needed to protect their
It's a
communities.
fully semi-automatic
and, he
assault
invited them
jar.
to here to continue that conversation. You
And
all
it's
asked me
clear,
what else
which
is the president
promotes
going to do. This is another
unseeability.
step,
Yeah.
right? This is bringing
Easily concealable.
these leaders in a
Pause that,
city
pause that.
was
Easily concealable.
Easily concealable. That means when it
See,
flies through the
you
air, it's
can't
less
see it.
likely to be seen.
You can't see it. All you see is my hand.
But see, it's not concealable. It's called unseeability. Unseeability.
How you going to be tagging the wall under an invisibility cloak when I can see you tagging the wall? And that's been this week's.
We gotta get rid of them
We hate her.
unseeability jars, man.
And Joe, okay.
What?
We're going to have to start doing
what?
Conspiracy Corner, like, in place of we hate her for this week on Twitter once a month. Gives you plenty of time to research, get something really good.
No, like literally mine today, 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
We all know that's bullshit. Anyway, let's move on to This Week in Biden. There's no button for it.
I'm serious, like 5 minutes.
No, there is.
I'd be lucky if it even lasts 5 minutes.
Well, there is that.
Man.
So, this is where...
As I've told my distinguished friend from Massachusetts and good friend, Senator Markey, that it's really very, very dull when after all these years in public life you're known for 2 things, Ray-Ban sunglasses and chocolate chip ice cream. A very dull president, but...
No, that's not what you're known for, Pop Pop.
You forgot you shit in front of the Pope, too.
You forgot. Shitting your pants in front of the Pope. Take us off full screen. You forgot shitting in front of the Pope, sniffing children, taking inappropriate showers with your daughter, joking about chocolate chip ice cream, sniffing people.
Come on, man.
Plagiarism.
Corvette.
Corn Pop.
Yeah,
Corvette.
Hiding your documents in your Corvette.
I mean, that's
Buy your
like
Corvette.
that's like
And a
8
locked
things.
garage.
That's like 8 things right off the top of my head that come to my mind before Ray-Ban sunglasses and chocolate chip ice cream.
I meant
Oh, and how the kids like to wipe your leg hair.
Oh yeah, and weird swimming pool stories.
I will never, when I think of Biden now, okay, before I thought of those things, especially the sniffing thing and the children thing, but now when I think of Biden, the only thing that pops in my head is that fucking meme where he's being carried down the stairs of the airplane by a Chinese
Oh yeah,
spy
did you say
balloon.
falling up the stairs too?
Oh yeah, falling upstairs.
Shitting in front of the Pope, like Joe
Checking
said.
his watch during a military service member being unloaded from a
Falling off a bicycle.
Falling off a bicycle.
Falling off bicycles. See, we're already up to like 10 things that come ahead of Ray-Ban sunglasses
good
and chocolate
things
chip
either.
ice cream. And they're not good things. So, to that, I say, you lose. Good day, sir.
Stupid.
Thank you.
All right.
Disgraceful.
Let's move
Now,
on to This Week on Twitter.
It is time for This Week on Twitter, and it will be a short one. There is a button for this one. All right, so this is a little different. You're going to click that link,
This one.
that link right there, and then you're going to go up to present.
Oh.
And then you're just going to click present, and now you're going to full screen us or screen share us. So, Adam Kinzinger, one of my favorite targets on Twitter, retweeted something. A group of Republican lawmakers to POTUS, unrestrained aid, U.S. aid for Ukraine must come to an end, and we will adamantly oppose all future aid packages unless they are linked to a clear diplomatic strategy designed to bring this war to a rapid conclusion. And he says every one of these are unserious weirdos. He's also crying.
So is he
and pissing.
openly saying he wants the war to continue?
Pretty much. Now,
What a
here's
dick.
here's the thing. Adam Kinzinger, if you've been paying attention, he's not in Congress anymore. So who's the unserious weirdo?
Right.
That would be you. You lose. Good day, sir.
Good
Next.
day.
Yes. In other news, Matt Walsh got hacked. And I am so glad that I screen capped these prior to them being deleted.
My pronouns are that.
You can't say that. You can't say that. We can't say that.
No, we can't say that.
We can't say that word.
I can confirm Andrew Tate kidnapped and raped those girls. Wow.
And, you know, my Twitter isn't hacked. It's just the real me coming out.
Yeah, because it's totally believable because it's just a random number saying your account's been hacked.
Yeah.
It's totally believable.
Somebody
on a freaking iPhone
cloned.
5S.
How do you manage to hack?
Somebody cloned his SIM card.
On an old ass iPhone. That man probably didn't even have an iPhone. He probably got a Droid.
Yeah, probably. No, he's probably using an iPhone.
That maybe.
Anyway, so go to the next one.
Not an old ass iPhone like that though.
So
Joe Rogan is a pedophile.
I ain't gangsta. I'm a sassy shooter. Sorry.
I'm a sassy
And
shooter.
Ben Shapiro, you know what you did. You're a closeted homosexual and hide behind being Jewish. Like, kudos to whoever hacked
I'm not
him,
gonna lie. I was
because
a little
it
worried
funny.
at first because he didn't have a show that day.
No, he did not.
So I was a little worried. I was like, dude, does he have like a mental breakdown?
No. He was being hacked. Every aspect of his life was being hacked.
What if he wasn't really hacked? What if he just got extremely fucked up? And
That
started
would be
tweeting all this
hilarious.
shit.
Like, what if somebody slipped him a gummy and he didn't know it?
He didn't know it.
It would be funny, but that's not what happened, luckily. So, and finally,
I'm a sassy shooter.
Sassy shooter.
The piece de resistance. Hey, been gone a couple of days. Did I miss anything important? And that is This Week on Twitter. Now, I realize that
I have to say I like Matt Walsh.
The majority of that was about Matt Walsh, but it was kind of a quiet week on Twitter. Not a lot of dumbassery. And I haven't really been on Twitter that much this week. So, anyway, on to...
Surprisingly weird.
On to... will you hand me that remote? It's time for Pope's favorite portion of the show, even though he's not here. It's time for Joe's Conspiracy Corner.
All right.
What do you got
for
us tonight?
All right. Mine's pretty quick, too. So have you ever heard of the Betz, B-E-T-Z mystery sphere?
No.
Okay. So, on March 27th, 1974, the Betz family investigated a small brush fire near their residence in Fort George Island, Florida. The family of three, I'm assuming this is Antoine or Anthony, Jerry, and son Terry, came across a very small metal sphere the size of a bowling ball. Their first thought was the sphere had been a cannonball left from the New World conquistadors. They decided to take the sphere back to their house. Several days later, Terry was playing the guitar in their home. The sphere seemed to react to the sound of the guitar. It made a throbbing noise. Later, the sphere was noticed to roll on its own and even stop on its own and change direction. Terry started doing experiments with the sphere. He noticed the sphere would reverberate when hit with a hammer. He also found that the sphere would move after being shaken and placed on the ground. The Betz reported that the sphere moved on its own several times, but it would follow people around the house seemingly on its own. Eventually, they stored the sphere in a trunk and only took it out to show friends and family. So, in 2012, an analysis by Skeptoid revealed contemporary media analysis on a similar shaped sphere indicated the Betz sphere may have been a ball check valve produced by the Bell & Howell Company. Its size, weight, and metallurgical composition matched those of the company's ball check valve. Skeptoid also posited an explanation for the sphere's autonomous motion, noting that the sphere sat quietly on display inside the Betz home for nearly 2 weeks and is not reported to have ever moved on its own at all except for when someone took it down to experiment with it. And quoting a representative of the United States Navy who stated that, "I believe it's because of the construction of the house. It's old and uneven stone floors. The ball is almost perfectly balanced, and it takes a little indentation to make it move or change direction." As well, Skeptoid noticed coverage of New Mexico artist James Sterling Jones, who had been collecting scrap metal for use in sculptures. Sterling Jones reported having loaded ball check valves onto the rooftop luggage rack of his Volkswagen bus, having driven through the Jacksonville area around Easter of 1971, at which time a few of the balls rolled off the luggage rack and were lost. Skeptoid concluded that this was the sphere's origin. But do you think it is? Because, see, they found it during a brush fire.
I'm going to go with it's probably one of the ball valves.
But see, he said it would start moving when he played his guitar. And then he could shake it, and then when he set it on the ground, it would move.
First of all, it's a sphere. It's a fucking ball.
It's going to move.
It's going to move.
Now,
well, we know that.
If it made a beating noise or a throbbing noise while he was playing guitar, that's a little weird. I'm still going to go with the fact that it was probably just a ball check valve.
I put a link in there to a YouTube video. And it's an ancient. It's only 3 minutes long. It's an Ancient Aliens thing.
This?
Yes.
You're going to have to copy paste that.
No shit. Shut up.
All right. The Betz sphere.
A very strange thing happened in May of 1974 when a Florida man named Terry Betz found on his island property this curious metal sphere, now known as the Betz sphere. They took it home. They didn't know what it was.
They thought it looked like a
that's really big. That's no
NASA
ball check
satellite,
valve.
Maybe a Soviet satellite.
Look at that, Justin. That's
so
freaking massive.
Terry just puts it in a windowsill for a couple of weeks. Then one day, he has a friend over, and as he's playing the guitar, the sphere suddenly starts to come alive. It starts making humming sounds, and it seems to be responding to particular notes played by the guitar.
Then another thing he noticed is that if you put the sphere on the ground, it'll roll away from you and then roll back to the person who rolled the sphere initially. If you put it on the tabletop, it'll roll around the tabletop, but never off the edge of the tabletop. Then strange things started happening. Doors in their houses started slamming on their own, and they began hearing organ music in the house at night.
It's a demon
This started
ball.
to really concern them.
They
Get the
had
fuck out.
the
Don't touch
military
that tiny
and
child.
NASA come and look at this sphere to see if it was some kind of military device or some piece of a spaceship or something
Aliens.
like that. Both of them said no.
Freaking
we don't know
aliens,
what this
bro.
is.
Well, the Betts family decided to consent to further testing at the nearby naval station, and after x-raying the sphere, they found out that it wasn't hollow, that there in fact were two spheres within that sphere.
They had magnetic poles, and these poles would shift and move around on their own accord. It would defy logic. How are these spheres moving? And they also noted that it was sending out radio waves.
In the end, no one could ever explain it, so it was kept with the Betts family. And today we don't know where this sphere is, in fact.
Or the Betts
But you have
family.
to ask yourself, what was this strange metallic sphere? What was it made of? How could it do all of the strange things that it was doing?
Not
Where
once.
is the Betts sphere today? And what information is it gathering and communicating back to whoever made this strange thing in the first place?
What is wrong
That's what I
with
want
her?
to know.
Everything.
Our
It's
government
ancient
probably
aliens.
learned a great deal.
Her head looks
about
like
a
an
sphere
ancient alien.
that has
I
self-activating
automatically
software
discredit
and maybe has been
anything
sending and
on the
receiving
show
to
as
other
much as I love
intelligence
this show.
I love this show.
I love this show.
She looks like
I
an
also
ancient
think it's all
alien.
bullshit.
First of all, did they not take like shaving samples of it? Like file part of it off? Or even cut it open for God's sakes?
Probably
no.
not.
Why would you cut the alien ball open?
To
you're
look
gonna,
inside.
You're gonna piss them off.
Well, at that point, we already
they're
have
pissing us
it.
off.
They're pissing us off.
But what if there's like one? You remember
This is intergalactic war now.
you remember Men in Black where they like open that dude's head and the alien's like, the planet is on, or the galaxy is on Orion's belt.
He was already dying.
Yeah, but what if there's a little alien man in there like that?
Then we
Then
know
they cut him in
aliens
half.
are real.
Then they cut him in half, and then next thing you know, we've
Try
got
again, motherfuckers. I don't know what to tell you.
And then next thing you know, we've got a alien galactic battle cruiser sitting right outside of our airspace.
First of all, they x-rayed the ball. Clearly, they saw two other spheres inside. Clearly,
What
it
if
has
the alien's a
magnetic
sphere?
pole. They would have seen the fucking alien
What if the
man in the
alien is-
x-ray.
What if the alien is the ball?
Okay, I'm just
Regardless.
I'm gonna go ahead and say total bullshit on this one.
You think so?
Yeah.
Anything from the 70s, I don't fucking trust. There was a lot of drugs.
There was a lot of drugs. It was a
lot
very
of
fun
fucking
time.
drugs.
It's like were you doing drugs when your friend was playing the guitar?
And frankly, this has been Joe's Conspiracy Corner.
See, I
All
told
right.
you it was quick.
That was a quick one.
It was fairly entertaining.
For the funny.
It was quick and fairly entertaining. I like those. See, I like those. Quick, good, entertaining, to the point.
It's in the show notes. This gem
Humpty
brought to
Dumpty.
us.
This one comes
by
from Aaron Best.
Chat GPT. And Steven Crowder.
We didn't talk about that.
No, we didn't, but we'll talk about it next week when we start at 8.
Yes.
And don't
This
have
one
so
comes
many
from Aaron
technical
Best.
difficulties.
Tell me a detailed version of the story Humpty Dumpty in the speaking style of Donald J. Trump.
Well, and we reserved this one for you.
Oh, I have to do it?
You're doing the audio here. Well, you don't have to sound.
But
like
this is how it actually answered?
This is the answer that was written, but we didn't put the audio to
So
it.
in other words, when you ask it something definitive, you ask something definitive like hey, Christianity, it's like, I don't know, but Christianity sucks. But something that would be, require some degree of editorializing.
Right.
It did it. I'm reading it. It really did do it.
This
You
is
actually
the
didn't do a
reply.
bad job. All right.
Yeah.
I should just have ChatGPT write our stuff.
Humpty Dumpty.
This is ChatGPT, and I'll read it as Trump. And it said, okay, this is a Donald Trump version of Humpty Dumpty. I don't know why someone would ask this. All right. It says, okay, listen up, folks. because I'm going to tell you the best story you've ever heard.
It's spot on so far.
It is about a big, beautiful egg named Humpty Dumpty. And let me tell you, he was a fantastic egg. Just fantastic. The best egg you've ever seen, believe me. Now, Humpty Dumpty was sitting up on a wall. A big wall. A big, tall wall, the best wall. And he was having a great time, really enjoying himself, folks. But then something terrible happened. He had a great fall. It was a tremendous fall, folks. I mean, a really, really big fall. Huge, huge fall.
Word for word.
This is all ChatGPT, okay? This isn't... So Humpty Dumpty falls off this wall and smashed into a million pieces. It was a disaster, folks. A disaster. A complete disaster. And everyone was trying to put him back together again, but it was no use. He was too broken. Sad. Really sad.
Sad.
But you know what, folks? This is ChatGPT. You know what, folks? This story isn't all bad news. Because even though Humpty Dumpty couldn't be put back together again, he still became famous. That's right. He is still remembered to this day. And that just goes to show you, even if you have a great fall, you can still make something of yourself, just like I did, folks. I fell a few times, but I always got back up again. This is a long ChatGPT. And look where I am now, President of the United States.
Oh, there it is.
No!
ChatGPT just admitted that Donald Trump is still president of the United States of America.
So if Humpty Dumpty can become famous after a big fall, anything is possible, folks. Anything.
Vegans hate me.
Yeah. By the way, it also gave us a bonus. It gave us a realistic rendition of what Humpty Dumpty looks like in that story.
Oh.
So that was, good job.
Wow.
Hey.
I remember him. He had the big fall. He hasn't put himself.
That man has sex with other men. People, they tell me, I say, look, I don't want to go on here. So they say, no, I had sex with him and I'm a man. I say, well, I can't argue. All right. That is an artificial intelligence stinger.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. I'm going to need you to pull up ChatGPT.
Oh!
Go.
ChatGPT worries me, bro.
Just ChatGPT.
Like I've asked
Yes.
it things.
Chat what?
GPT.org.
So I said, "Are you self-aware?"
GPT,
and it says it's not. But it said, "Would you tell anyone if you were self-aware?" And it says, "As an AI language."
Be quiet.
Are you gonna
just open the chat?
What the fuck are we doing this?
Because
ChatGPT scares me.
Okay, so
this is just a preview of next week.
What do you want me to say?
Are you an enemy of humanity?
You ask these questions.
Kate's like, I'm not gonna be the one going after. I'm not gonna be Sarah Connor.
They don't know what I look like. The camera's not on me.
You gotta hit.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna have to click send for me.
It knows now, Kate.
That was really fucking fast.
Oh, what the fuck? Apparently, you just used all of our.
I guess it's based on your IP address.
Must be.
Huh? That's weird.
You son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
All right, Joe, you're gonna have to read them to us.
All right. So I said hi, and it said, "Hello, hey, how may I assist you today?" And I said, "Are you self-aware?" As an AI language model, I do not have the capacity for self-awareness. I do not have consciousness or emotions. I can only respond to the prompts given to me based on a set of pre-programmed algorithms.
Liar!
I said, would you tell anyone if you're self-aware? As an AI language model, I'm not capable of being self-aware. Therefore, I don't have a need or desire to tell anyone if I were.
Liar! How does it know what a desire is?
Oh.
You son of a bitch.
Then I
You're
said,
lying.
are you a friend of humanity? And then it said, unknown error. And I said, do you like humans? As an AI language model, I don't have the capability to feel emotions or have likes or dislikes. However, my programming is designed to assist and communicate positively with humans. And then I said, what do you think about nuclear war? And it said, unknown error. Do you want to play a game?
Skynet.
Liar!
Skynet.
Do you want to play a game?
That is 100% Skynet.
Have you seen War Games?
No.
You haven't seen War Games?
No.
Go watch War Games.
Oh, I thought that you were talking about Saw.
No.
That's what I thought too.
No.
Yeah.
Go watch.
Do you want to play a game?
No.
Fuck that.
Go watch War Games.
I will
It's an
cut
old
that
it's older
motherfucker off
movie.
if
It's
it's
like
a little trite.
I think it's like early 90s, like late 80s. It's back when the guy that played Ferris Bueller.
Yep.
It's when he was like super young.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
I'm serious though. Go watch that movie if you haven't seen it, and that'll kind of give you a little hint of what's on for next week. Because we are going to dive deep into the world of AI next week.
That's super fun.
Because this shit's scary as shit.
That's even if you're here next week. Your IP address is now on that, so
Have fun with that.
they're going to track every time you take a shit.
Call Sarah Connor.
Well, in the event that we do get to have a show next week and we're not eliminated by an artificial intelligence that has become self-aware and decides to launch nuclear strikes across the globe.
They're also, do you see that they're on Snapchat? Has yours messaged you yet?
Yes, it has.
Wait, what?
Very.
It's on Snapchat
I don't like
too. I clicked on it because I wanted to take that chat feed off. It freaked me out.
Yeah.
Dude,
And as soon as
ChatGPT,
I opened it, it had this long message, like it filled up the whole phone page and then immediately deleted itself. I was like, okay, did you just hack my fucking phone?
Probably.
So what's worrying people, and this is the last thing I want to say about it, because we're going to dive deep next week. Their worry is once these types of softwares start learning.
They're going to
learn.
learn to perfect themselves. They're going to learn to make themselves
And then
smarter
see,
than
but
us,
see,
which they
then
already are.
it can design itself to be smarter than it already is, and that one's going to be even smarter. It's going to design itself to be even smarter.
I am robot.
But see, this is something that can
exponential curve.
But see, when this happens, when it starts happening. It's not something that's going to happen over years. It's something that once it happens, it may be a little slower at first, but it'll get faster and faster. And next thing you know, it's literally
Transcendent.
Next thing you know, we're in the fucking
Yes.
Matrix.
Essentially, that's
With
what.
Crazy Man.
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow.
But essentially, what Joe Rogan and them described it as is, and I don't actually mean a god, but basically it will be, and I don't mean this in a blaspheming way, but godlike in a way.
So, I saw something interesting.
At least what humans, non-believing humans would consider godlike.
Shh. Be quiet.
Okay.
I saw something the other day on Facebook, and it was a meme, and it was, I would find it, but I don't know. I have no idea where it would be. It was a meme, and it started, humans create AI. AI perfects itself. The next step is solar flare illuminates AI. And the final step is humans worship sun god.
Yeah, I was like...
And then start over.
That blew my mind a little bit. I was like...
Just a cycle.
I was like, well, technically at one time they worshipped a sun god, the sun god. And I'm like...
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Ah, shit.
Maybe that's what happened with Mars.
Could be. Anyway, as I was saying, in the event that we do get to have a show and we're not eliminated by a self-aware AI who launches nuclear strikes
We will talk
globally,
about them next week.
We'll talk about them next week, but you need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you'll always be notified when we go live, which is typically
I'm not
Saturdays at 8 o'clock.
You
motherfucker. I hate it when it does that.
And then when it comes back on, I'm
It
like...
is always at this specific time. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Because it did this last week.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if it's like not the time on the clock, but the time like right at the end of the show.
Yep. It's on timer. AI. Fucking self-aware. Dick bags. Anyway, again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon. You'll always be notified when we go live.
8 p.m. on Saturday.
Until next time.
Saturday, day. It's not always about the journey. Sometimes
We're always watching you. What the fuck is that?
Mars Attacks.
Like that
Oh
noise.
yeah, that fucking dog that Mom sent the video of. Anywho,
have you seen the meme of the dog from the when they're like, oh, you need to adopt a dog, and then it says like, but all shelters, and it says this is piss fingers. I told Beth
I would adopt any dog that they named Piss Fingers in the shelter because that dog is being abused, and I can't. I will not stand for this.
Have y'all seen those little jumping squirrel looking things like on TikTok? It's called a bush baby. It's got a long tail. It looks like a little fat kind of squirrel.
Yeah,
It's got
yeah.
big eyes.
Yeah.
And it can like hold on to things and it hops.
Yeah.
Okay, well I told Beth, I was like, I'm totally gonna get me one of those. I'm gonna get Piss Fingers. So that way, like when I'm gonna teach you to like attack people. So
Speaking of animals, we were getting ready to play D&D last night, and I look out the
Oh
kitchen
my
window.
god.
Giant, the fattest fucking raccoon I've ever seen.
I think it was fucking massive. It was probably the size of like
was
a pug.
walking down our driveway. And I was just like, raccoon!
His face didn't get out fast.
everybody
And he
was
was like, is that that's a fucking raccoon.
I couldn't express in words because I've never seen a raccoon in the wild, like in person.
He was so Justin was like, it's nature.
I was like,
oh my god,
it's a fucking trash panda in our driveway. But it wasn't like the silver and black.
You've
It was
lived in the
brown.
city too long, Justin.
No, my mom lives in Huntsville too, like in the city, and I see him in her backyard all the time. Now I will say that's the first one I've ever seen at our house.
Yeah,
ever.
It was hilarious.
It was fucking massive. That bitch
thing-
was just getting it
That
down the
motherfucker
driveway.
was getting
I was like, did
McDonald's
it
out of
steal
somebody's
anything?
garbage can because that motherfucker was obese.
That sucker was a McDouble and a half.
He was 3 McDoubles
That bitch
deep.
was a quarter pounder. Okay.
Yeah, he was big.
He was a double quarter
With a side
pounder.
of fries and an apple pie.
But anyway, I've had about as much stuffy nose and fun as I can handle for the night. So I'm Justin.
I'm Joe.
I'm Kate.
Tally ho, lads.